No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it. I fit the description, I'm the definition. I'm what they prescribe like she seen a physician. She wanna ride cause she seen how we getting it. Big old booty, she my passenger princess. She like to argue, she don't like to listen. She bougie and toxic, she fine and she picky. Pretty and sedity, she get recognition. Matching nails and toes, man, she always French tip 'em. Parking lot pimping when we in the city. Don't ask her about twine, she twerk on the engine. She eat the dick in the car cause it's tinted. She pay me attention like she get commission. Pimpin' CEO, so I give her the business. She ride on the dick like she doing some fitness. She make the dick disappear like she magician. She like to swallow, man, she love when I finish. Having motion, man, you know I got plenty. Bitches choosing cause they know that I'm winning. Seen some thousands, now I'm after some millions. So all my houses come with chandelier ceilings. Pillow talking, man, that shit just ain't in me. Keep it pimpin', I can't do no pretending. Jealous hearted, man, you know I ain't with it. Cuffin' hoes, I can't do no commit. No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it.
What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all locked? What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all locked? What we doing tonight? We still in intro mode, man. We in intro mode.
I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. How we're moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spends the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. How we're moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spends the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean.
What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut the live out. Let's get to 100 likes right quick. Rogie, thank you for starting the chat off right, man, with that $2 super chat. Thank you, Rogie, for your continued support, chat. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Hold on, where's the intro? Where's the intro? Y'all know what time it is, man.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. What we doing tonight, chat? What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut the live out. They saying Trump may have opened the Strait of Hormuz. Are citizens ready for a military economy? And is Cuba next? Double tap the screen, shut the live out. I see you in here, Amber. La la. Karen, thank you for the $5 super chat to start the night off right. Thank you, Karen, for your continued support. What's up, Lowry? What's up, Big Niece? Too Strong. I seen you in them YouTube streets earlier. Too Strong, man. Is Too Strong in here? No, Too Strong ain't even here. Yeah, he is. I seen Too Strong in them YouTube streets earlier, man. What's up, J-Bo? What's up, DJ? D4. What's up, Big Niche? Gerald, OG's in the building tonight. La. I know you got them plain lays ready, chat. We got an action-packed episode, man. We got Professor Jang speaking about Bitcoin being created by the CIA. We have a woman who downed 14 shots of tequila before she fell off of a Carnival cruise ship. Well, fell while she was on a Carnival cruise ship, is set to receive $300,000. We're going to break that down too, chat. Clavicular, the streamer, the look smaxer, he's saying he's done IRL streaming. He's just going to be sitting at the desk because he just overdosed on stream the other day. I'm talking about it was bad, chat. And what's even crazier about that situation is mid-overdose, do you know what his friend is doing, chat? His friend is offering him Adderall. He's in the middle of an overdose, bro. I'm talking like out of there, bro. And his friend's like, hey, do you want some Adderall? Like, hey, you need to shake back. You want some Adderall? Crazy, chat. Crazy, man. Also, the Pentagon has approached automakers, General Motors and Ford, about shifting some of its capacity to make arms and military supplies, according to the Wall Street Journal. We got Caroline Levitt held a press conference today, I believe, with Bassett. CNN's reporting that Israel is losing United States support, even among Republicans. Also, Trump, is it Trump? I don't know, but basically they're trying to roll out the digital ID in America. We talked about it in the UK. We talked about it in Canada. It's here. It's here in America, chat. I get on here every night to fight for our privacy, and it's looking like they're coming at Apple. They're coming at Apple and Google, saying that they will, if you want to set up your phone, whoever's setting up the device has to use a ID, a driver's license or ID or biometrics before you even get into the phone. They're not even waiting on the update. As soon as you set up the phone, chat, shit is crazy. Everyone double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. We have to get to 100 likes right quick. Hit the like button on your way in. Hit the like button on your way in. Yeah, so we'll cover that as well. CNN also exposed a global grape academy that teaches men how to derug and grape women without detections. They're saying that over 62 million men attended in February alone. We'll get into that, CNN's hit piece. Also, Pam Bondi, this is from Jasmine Crockett. It's saying Pam Bondi refused to show up for today's oversight deposition, defying our lawful subpoena. We couldn't care less that she was fired from her job as Attorney General. She's responsible for leading the White House cover-up of the Epstein files. Since she didn't show up, and we'll get into the rest of that comment from Jasmine Crockett here in a second. How do y'all feel about Pam Bondi? Is she complicit in the cover-up of the Epstein files, chat? Yes or no? Is Pam Bondi complicit in the cover-up of the Epstein files, in your opinion? Also, they're saying Republicans have launched a campaign called Never Vance. Republicans have launched a Never Vance campaign, chat, and it's looking pretty grim for the vice president in his 2028 presidential bid. Reuters is reporting that the United States is set to launch a tariff refund system, so maybe we will be getting those $2,000 tariff checks as well. As far as opening up the Strait of Hormuz, Reuters also reported that Iranian officials are offering a proposal to allow ships to exit on the Oman side of the Strait of Hormuz. So, you got the Strait of Hormuz, you got Oman down here, then you have Iran up here. You got the strait right here, Iran to the north, Oman to the south. Iran saying that they're drafting a proposal that would allow ships to exit on the Oman side of the Hormuz free of attack. We'll get into that as well. They're also reporting that Iran has moved 20 million barrels of oil through offshore networks that bypass the U.S. port blockade. J.D. Vance came at the Pope. He told the Pope to be careful when giving opinions on theology. The Pope. Now we know J.D. Vance converted to Catholicism, and he's basically checking the Pope. So how do y'all Catholics feel about J.D. Vance checking the Pope, man? How do y'all feel the Catholics feel about J.D. Vance checking the Pope? Like, hey, man, when you comment on all that theology and whatnot, Pope, you need to be careful with your opinion, man. Be careful when you have an opinion on theology, Pope. Also, Trump says the government should have a kill switch for AI due to existential risk. I do agree with Trump on that. AI definitely needs a kill switch. They're reporting that tens of thousands of bees have suddenly swarmed across parts of Israel, prompting authorities to warn residents and shop owners to keep doors and windows closed. California gubernatorial candidate Tom Steyer releases an immigration platform. His immigration platforms includes abolishing ICE, putting ICE agents in jail, and treating them like the mob, bringing those that have been kidnapped and detained by ICE back home, giving the California Attorney General, chat, the power to imprison ICE agents and their leadership. He also wants taxpayer-funded legal representation and support for undocumented immigrants, ignoring oh, that's some opinion. Basically, he said this is about our right as a state to protect our residents. So, chat, let me ask y'all. This is the front runner for the California governor race. Tom Steyer. Do you agree that Tom Steyer should have the power to lock ICE agents up, man? The power to lock ICE agents up. The Pentagon is reportedly preparing for a potential operation in Cuba, reported by USA Today. Also, the Senate votes 52 to 47 to block a resolution that would have prevented further U.S. and Iran strikes without congressional approval, Chad. We got an action-packed lineup. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We have to get to 100 likes right quick, chat, and we're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We have to hit the sub goals. We have to hit the like goals. Let's get it. Let's go. This is the woman that got plastered, man. She got plastered, man. Had 14 drinks at the bar on a Carnival cruise. Y'all know what they say about those Carnival cruises, chat. Well, she got on one, man, got plastered. Plastered, man. 14 drinks, fell face first, woke up at the bottom of a staircase, I believe, and now she's suing Carnival for $300,000.
California. She was a passenger on the Carnival radio. This is my client, Diana Sanders. She's a nurse from Northern California.
Know what they say about them nurses, chat, man. You went out and got plastered.
She was a passenger on the Carnival Radiance. She was served 15 shots of tequila in about 8 hours.
That's crazy that they said she was served 15 shots of tequila in whatever time. Why he didn't say she bought? Why does he have to say she was served? Like, she didn't get it for fucking free. She was served 15 shots. Man, listen, that shit sounds like y'all were at a barbecue or party and parlaying and shit. No, she bought that shit, man. She bought that shit, man, or something.
She was served 15 shots of tequila in about 8 hours.
Oh, 8 hours?
She woke up not knowing exactly how she got there at the bottom of the staircase in the crew area.
Chad, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Arkansas keeps Dr. Pepper in business. I don't even really, Dr. Pepper's cool. It's not my go-to. But whenever I go to the store, if any beverage is gone in Arkansas, it's fucking Dr. Pepper, bro. Like, Arkansas alone is keeping Dr. Pepper in business, bro. Straight up.
In about 8 hours, she woke up not knowing exactly how she got there at the bottom of the staircase in the crew area. Diana, tell us a little bit about your experience in the case and in the trial.
The case, waking up after blacking out and going to the crew and asking them for help and asking them to tell me what happened was extremely frustrating. They gave me conflicting information. They treated me like a criminal. I was very concerned that they wouldn't tell me exactly what happened to me. And so I went to get a lawyer so I could get those tapes and find out what happened, and come to find out they have all the tapes right before, but nothing after.
So they got all the tapes of her getting drunk, but nothing about her leaving. 15 drinks in 8 hours, man. Listen. What I want to know is how the fuck did they know she got 15 drinks in 8 hours? How was the bartender supposed to know? 8 hours, that's a long fucking time. She could have went to this bar, that bar over there, the bar over there. She probably went to different bartenders. Hell, 8 hours, they probably had a fucking shift change. Let's be honest, how were they supposed to know this woman had 15 drinks, man?
Afterwards, and they will not show us what happened that day.
What was it like being taking on a corporate giant like Carnival? You spent 2 years litigating this case.
Yeah, I felt bullied. I felt like everything they did was to either mentally torment me or financially torment me. It was a lot for the last 2 years.
And how'd you feel when a Miami jury, it was 8 women from Miami, you're from California, when they returned the verdict in your favor after 5 days, how did that feel?
8 women.
It felt amazing. First of all, I love Miami. I've had a great experience here with all the people, and so I was really happy when I saw the jury as my peers. And I felt like the whole time they saw right through what the defense was trying to do, how they tried to defame my character, things they brought up that had nothing to do with the case. They were just trying to criminalize, bully me, and make me look like a bad human being. It's hard to be because I'm a great person.
You are a lovely person. It's been a privilege to represent you.
Sound like she had a good time, man. She's on a cruise, got fucking plastered, 15 shots, about 8 hours, falls down and gets a $300,000 payday, man. Sound like she won.
Over-service of alcohol cases are
Look how she's smiling and shit.
extremely difficult. Passengers have a responsibility to drink responsibly, but cruise lines also have a responsibility to serve responsibly. And when you serve somebody who's visibly intoxicated repeatedly, drink after drink after drink, it can lead to disastrous consequences. And I'm just thrilled for you that a jury was able to hear the story and to return a verdict in your favor. Justice prevails. And that's the case.
I'm not gonna lie, Chad. 15 shots in 8 hours just doesn't seem like a lot to me, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. In 8 hours, it just doesn't seem like just entirely too much.
My name's Spencer Ehrenfeld. I sue cruise lines like Carnival for a living. Hit the quest button and follow. Let us know what you think. Now, obviously, you didn't hear the whole case. You just heard a snippet. But this is pretty much what the case was about. And
Is that a lot of alcohol, Chad? Because you got to think, man, a shot, that's like, she probably drunk like what, man? 15 shots, that's like what? That's not a fifth, bro. That's probably like a pint, a little over a pint, man. She probably drunk a little over a pint, man. She probably drunk over a little over a pint. That's like 2 shots an hour. She took about 2 shots an hour. That shit's crazy, Chad. All right, let's get into some of the news, man. Let's get into some of the news. We'll get into that clavicular shit in a minute. Double tap the screen, chat, shut a live out. We're 25 likes away from the next like goal, and we have not got one new subscriber. Not one of y'all motherfuckers subscribe, chat. It's finna be one of them nights tonight, bro. It's crazy. Y'all know what that mean, man. It's finna be one of those nights, chat.
Hey there, I'm Harry Enton, and today we are running all the numbers on Israel's U.S. popularity problem. Israel is losing support here in the United States, even amongst Republicans. Take a look at this data. Take a look at this data amongst young Republicans. Look at this massive shift that we have had over just the last 4 years, the net favorability of Israel among Republicans under the age of 50. You go back to 2022, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for Israel amongst young Republicans. But by 2025, look at this. Already a 30-point shift away. Their net favorability down to -2. Today, look at
that. I'm not gonna lie, chat. That's probably what Netanyahu was talking about, the 8 front war and shit, man. Because Look at it. 2022, it was plus 28 points. That's coming out of, the pandemic, everybody stay at home and shit. By 2025, that's full-blown Gaza's going on. TikTok is going viral. They starting to ban hashtags and shit. YouTube's going crazy. Everyone's talking about it. And now it's negative 16 because it's an actual, we're at damn war. This is crazy, Chad. This is the power of social media right here, bro.
This minus 16 points. That's an over 40-point shift in just 1, 2, 3, 4 years' time away from Israel amongst young Republicans. But that's not the only part of the Republican base where Israel is struggling. How about amongst moderate or liberal Republicans? They make up about a third of the Republican base at this point in time. The net favorability of Israel with moderate liberal Republicans back in 2022, again, 2 thumbs up. You'll notice I do a lot of Siskel and Ebert references. I just really like them. At plus 26 points. Today,
we have got to the point where literally...
Man, we got to the point to where we got a fucking ad-free version, chat. Like, we made it out the dark on this ad-free shit. Why do they keep putting me on the ad account, bro? Like, YouTube, chill, bro. Chill, man. All right, chat, let me get us to the ad-free version, man.
hey there, I'm Harry Enton, and today we are running all the numbers on Israel's 5-point shift in just 4 years' time, with moderate liberal Republicans shifting away from Israel. And this, to me, gives you a good indication of why one of the more ardent critics of Israel within the Republican Party is actually, at this point, favored to win a competitive primary. You may know him, Thomas Massie. He, of course, is the representative from Kentucky's 4th District. He has been opposed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump has endorsed his opponent. Pro-Israel voices are also opposed. Many of them have also opposed Thomas Massie. But at this point, look at this. His chance of being the Republican nominee, winning that Republican primary in Kentucky's 4th District, is actually more likely than not to occur. Look at this. According to the Kalshi prediction market at this point, a 71% chance. But here's the thing. Again, I'm building blocks here. It's not just on the right. It's not just amongst Republicans where Israel is losing support amongst the unexpected places. How about among younger men who were a key part?
Chat, Thomas Massie is actually, it's kind of crazy. He's an anomaly, man. Going against the establishment, going against everybody, having donors pour millions and millions of dollars in funding the campaign against him, and he's just fucking shining bright like a diamond. Like, this is an anomaly, bro. Chat, double tap the screen, shut the live out. Let's get to 100 likes, man. Go to the top, hit the 3 dots, make sure you had a video like.
Of Donald John Trump's coalition back in 2024. They have very much shifted away from Israel. Look at this. Net favorability of Israel among men under the age of 50. In 2022, not too bad, but
I told y'all it was finna be one of them nights, didn't we, chat? Look, Jim Cracks Corn, man, is talking about you love him like Don the Con. Shut the fuck up, Jimmy. Then you talking about shut up. No, you shut up, Jimmy. You said stop watching this America hater. Now Jimmy's mad because nobody wants to watch him. See, that's what's really mad, chat. That's what Jimmy's really mad at. He's not mad about my views. He's not mad about my opinions. He hasn't even watched the video. He's mad that nobody cares about what the fuck he thinks. That's why Jimmy's really mad in here throwing rocks and shit, hating, man. He's mad that no matter where he goes, whether he goes in the living room, whether he goes in the kitchen to make a cup of coffee, his wife doesn't give a fuck about what he thinks. When he goes outside, his kids don't give a fuck about what he thinks. When he clocks into work, they don't give a fuck about what he thinks. That's why he's mad, chat. Nobody cares about Jim.
But not too hot to trot either at minus 3 points. By 2025, again, down we go, minus 22 points. That is a 19-point shift in just 3 years' time. But it gets even worse. Look at this for Israel. Minus 47 points. That's a 44-point shift away from Israel on the net favorability amongst young men who, of course, shifted massively into the Republican column back in 2024. And they have been shifting away from Israel over the last 4 years. But here's the thing. You want to talk about unexpected, perhaps no number I have seen is more unexpected than this one, because when we talk about the Democratic base, right, and we talk about them being against Israel, that's been true amongst liberal and very liberal Democrats for a decent period of time. But now we're even seeing it among moderate and conservative Democrats, because take a look at these numbers. I mean, this is a sea change. This is a sea change. Net favorability of Israel amongst non-liberal Democrats that
And this was what I was speaking about with a lot of people, especially like friars and just people in the Discord that when we have these conversations. This is how the new guard comes about. When I'm talking about the new guard, the old guard, we see Congress. We see how many people has taken AIPAC money with the red little squares and shit. Now, when we look at these charts, in the young Republicans, they have a net 28, minus 28, right? Now, right here, they're minus 25. I mean, minus 55. That's the young guard. Those are the younger people. Those are the people that can actually, make a fucking difference one day. Now, what do we have to bank on? Them not taking the money? Let's be real, chat. They're gonna take the fucking money. So what are we gonna be okay with, chat? I tell y'all every time that when we get out and we get ready to vote midterms, we get ready to vote 2028, we gotta know where we stand. We gotta know what we're voting for. Thomas Massey is taking his stance. A lot of these other people have taken their stances, but it's the new guard. You seen Mamdani came out today talking about he's taxing the rich. It's actually going on. I don't know how true we can hold these people, because once they get to that point of no return, whether it's Senate, Congress, whatever, that's when they take the fucking money. That's when they take the fucking money, Chad. So we have a chance to get a new guard up there. We're talking about the oligarchy, the deep state. We're talking about the legacy politicians, man. We have a chance to get them out. This is the fucking moment right here. This is the fucking moment right here.
as those who identify as either moderate or conservative. Back in 2022, Israel was on the plus side of the ledger. I'll give it 1 thumbs up at plus 3 points. Look at this. By 2025, minus 30 points. That's a 33-point shift in just 3 years' time. You think that's a big shift? How about now? Look at this. Among moderate conservative Democrats, the net favor of Israel, down into the Sea of Galilee at minus 55 points. That's a nearly 60-point switcheroo in just 4.
You said, why don't we link and create a new party? I mean, that can work, but the thing about it is, over the course of this time, they always like to say, oh, the Democrats and the Republicans, the parties switch, the parties flip. That's what's going to have to go on. People are too loyal to the Democrats. People are too loyal to the Republicans, so people have to take a fucking stance. Where do you draw your line as a voter? Where the fuck is it data centers? Is it AI? Is it the pedophilia? Where do you draw your line as a voter? And are you going to stand true to that line? Because it's in the fucking black and white. Or are you going to just say, hey, man, I did what I could. I got to vote red because I want my voice to matter. Thank you, Lala, for renewing that membership. Thank you, Lala, OG to the channel.
4 years' time. Now, why are we seeing these shifts? Why are we seeing these shifts amongst Democrats, amongst Republicans, at least?
Well, Suzanne, that's your answer. Suzanne Wilcox says all of it. Well, if all of it matters, prove it. When you go to the polls in November and when you go to the polls in 2028, prove it. Prove that shit matters to you. Because we got 3 million Epstein files we're still not getting, right? Right? We still got insider trading going all the way a fuck around, right? Right? We still don't know where them kids is at that they found, right? They're talking about securing the border. Well, they just passed it in the House. It's about to go to the last fucking vote. They're about to let the Haitians get TPS. And y'all don't think they're about to let the Iranians get it as well? Everybody was crying about close the borders, go home. No, that's not what the fuck is. You've been bamboozled. So what really matters to you? Or are you just going to say this shit matters, and when it comes time for November and then in 2028, you're going to be forgetful? You're going to want to be buddy and go have a beer with your partner. You don't want to feel awkward when he asks you who you voted for. You don't want to have to explain yourself. You don't want to have that crucial conversation because politics splits families. You don't want to have that conversation. You're going to avoid it. You're going to duck it.
Certain portions of the Republican electorate, and why are we seeing it among younger men who are a big part of Trump's coalition? It is because it is part of a larger sea change against Israel. I mean, just take a look at these overall numbers right now. The net favorability of Israel among all adults. In 2022, it was plus 13 points. I'll give that 2 thumbs up. Look at by 2025, minus 8 points. That's a 21-point switch in just 3 years. And now, the net favorability of Israel amongst all adults, minus 23 points. That's a 36-point change in just 4 years' time amongst all adults. Now, okay, that's part of...
You said, everybody hit the like button right now, chat. Go to the top, hit the 3 dots, hit the like button. Let's hit the algorithm, man. You said we don't have to explain ourselves and we don't have to answer to anybody who we voted for. That's your experience. Some families not going for that shit. Some people would rather lie than to be honest with their family about who they voted. You don't have to answer to anybody. But it's some families out here that'll kick your ass the fuck up out the family. They'll write your ass up out the wheel about some fucking politics, man. We didn't see it this year? Did we not see it this year?
Part of the reason why that we're seeing these groups within these shifts, right? A rising tide lifts all boats. But it's more than that. How about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which of course has been taking center stage over the past few years here in America, especially after the October 7th attacks and then Israel's response to it. Take a look here. I mean, this is a change. This is a change. Who Americans sympathize more with, the Israelis or the Palestinians? Back in 2022, before the October 7th attacks, it was the Israelis by 28 points. That would even climb into the 40s, 50s, depending on which polling you looked at in terms of who Americans sympathize with, the margin very much on the side of Israel. But look at where we are now. In 2026, Americans sympathize more with the Palestinians by an 11-point margin. That is a shift of nearly 40 points in just 4 years' time. And when you compare it to 2023, after the October 7th attacks, we're talking about what, a 50, 60-point change? My goodness gracious. This is the best position that the Palestinians have ever been in the minds of the American public. The Palestinians making history in terms of who Americans sympathize more with. But it is not just the Israelis and the Palestinian conflict in which why we're seeing these shifts among all these different groups and overall as well. It is because of the man who right now is the prime minister, the longtime prime minister of Israel, who's been prime minister, at least in parts, all the way back to my childhood. I mean, I think he was the prime minister when I was like 8 or 9. That is how long. And while I look young, I'm not that young anymore. But take a look at Bibi Netanyahu. Look at his net favorability rating here in the United States. In early 2024, he was on the plus side of the ledger at plus 9 points. But look now, minus 23 points. Again, an over 30-point shift in the wrong direction if you are a fan of Bibi Netanyahu here in the United States. And among independents, we're talking about that his net favorability rating at this point is a minus 35 points in the average poll. He is about as popular as Donald Trump is here in the United States. And of course, Trump ain't too hot to trot, to borrow a phrase I used earlier on. And here's the other thing, which is this is starting to have major electoral ramifications. Israel has become a 4-letter word in Democratic primaries. And one way you can see that is AIPAC, right? AIPAC, the lobbying group. Google searches for AIPAC in 2026, up like a rocket, up 363% versus last year, reached an all-time high last month. You often hear those on the left using AIPAC.
Hey, that man said, like a rocket. Hey, his ass might be from the country.
Using AIPAC against their opponents if they have in fact taken money from AIPAC. I'm not expecting that to change anytime soon on the left. I think the question is going to be, if these young Republican numbers hold, and we see this right here, will AIPAC and Israel possibly become a boogeyman on the right as well?
I'm not gonna lie, the young Republicans been having some shit going on those campuses too. The young Republicans really been taking some L's lately, man. They been taking. Remember that one guy was trying to meet up with the kid, and the other guy was doing. Yeah, the young Republicans been tripping out here lately, man. Chat, I need everybody to hit the like button, man. We're 25 likes away from the next like goal. We have to hit 100 likes before we hit the first hour. We have to get 100 likes before we hit the first hour, man.
We're not really quite sure at this point, given how quickly these numbers have changed. Maybe they'll change back the other way in 4 years' time. But the bottom line is this. Views on Israel have shifted tremendously in a lot of unexpected places, not just on the left.
Hey, Zach said that everyone get the 400 chat gift points. Yes, if you got the chat gift points, throw them right now, man. Empty that damn chat gift wallet, man. It's free, man. Put all that shit in the chat, man.
Of the Democratic Party. All right, so this was me running all the numbers on Israel's U.S. popularity problem. If you have another topic that you want me to cover, leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll see if we'll do it next time around.
Welcome to the program.
Damn, my bad, Chad. What day was this? I didn't even mean to click on this, but what day was this? 8 hours ago. All right, we're going to see what more MTG got to say. And then we'll get into Caroline Levitt press conference. Chat, double tap the screen, shut a live out. Nah, I didn't cover the Turkey school shootings yet. What's up, Top Cat? Zach, man, your membership ran out. Man, damn, yo, they changed the chat, your name from green to regular. But I still see you, Zach. I still see you.
Program.
Thank you, Defo.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
You know, I'm not sure how many of these international interviews you've done, because you do a lot in the United States, but it's a measure of how much your position now is causing a huge amount of interest, both in the United States.
Is Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor, chat? Is she a traitor? Hold on. We'll watch this after we watch this Caroline. I got to see what the fuck Caroline said. I didn't mean to click on that. We'll come back to that. I do want to watch it, but we'll come back to that. Say Trump called her Marjorie Trader Green, man. Say she turned her back on the cause. That's why I keep telling y'all, man. If you disagree with Trump, you not MAGA, man.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Good to see you. We have a packed house, and I have two very special guests with me today. I will start with some scheduling announcements. Tomorrow afternoon, President Trump will travel to Las Vegas, Nevada to hold a roundtable and deliver remarks on the working families tax cuts. On Friday, President Trump will travel to Phoenix, Arizona to deliver remarks at a Turning Point USA event at Dream City Church. And I'm really honored to be standing here today on Tax Day with two esteemed members of the President's cabinet and his excellent economic team, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Small Business Administrator Kelly Loeffler. As we have seen this tax season, President Trump's working families tax cuts have put a historic amount of money back into the pockets of the American people this year. On the campaign trail in 2024, President Trump looked voters in the eye and promised them he would sign the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. And on Independence Day last year, President Trump and congressional Republicans delivered, passing the largest tax cut in history for working and middle-class Americans, including no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. They also passed unprecedented tax relief for small business.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You said, what did you say? Damn, I'm in the wrong channel. I can't stand MAGA, the magician's word. Yeah, get the fuck out, because this is the politically homeless over here. We don't give a fuck if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC. Don't come in here in your feelings. Don't come in here all soft and tender, and because we not gonna coddle that shit in this bitch. If you don't want to be in here around MAGA, get the fuck out. If you don't want to be in here around some far left Marxists, get the fuck out. If you don't want to be around some independents, get the fuck out. Man, we not coddling nobody's feelings in this bitch. Get the fuck out.
Farmers, workers, and families. With Tax Day officially here, the numbers prove these tax cuts have been nothing short of extraordinary. More than 53 million filers claimed at least one of President Trump's signature new tax cuts. The average refund this filing season is more than $3,400. The Trump administration has issued more refunds and larger refunds than in any year of the history of our country. And I will allow Secretary Bessent to break down the numbers in greater detail. President Trump and Republicans in Congress have always believed that the American people know how to spend their money better than the government does. But what the American people must not forget is that every single Democrat in Congress voted against these tax refunds. The media has largely omitted this fact and other critical details in their stories covering the benefits of the Trump tax cuts. If the Democrats in Congress had gotten their way and blocked President Trump's historic legislation, Americans would have faced the largest...
Chat, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is some bullshit, man. All of this shit is some bullshit, man. We're talking about tax cuts and we're talking about fucking $3,400 tax cut while you're giving these corporations damn near $1 trillion in tax cuts this year, if not a actual $1 trillion in tax cuts this year. What the fuck are we talking about? $3,400, man? This shit is crazy.
Tax hike in history, nearly $4 trillion. The average taxpayer would have seen a 22% increase in their tax rates. Democrats in Congress have proven over and over again that they are the affordability frauds who believe the government should keep more of the American people's hard-earned money. This president and Republicans in Congress fundamentally believe that Americans deserve to keep more of their hard-earned paychecks. It's a clear contrast for American families to keep in mind.
That's the thing. See, you understand this shit, Bartholomew. You said what president didn't give corporations money? That's the fucking problem. Y'all said Trump was gonna be different. Y'all said Trump is gonna be different. He's for the people. And now you come in here and saying what president didn't do this? What president did? That's the fucking problem. Do you not get it? That's the fucking problem.
So with that, I will turn it over to our great Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, and then he will turn it over to Kelly. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Caroline. I'm here to tell you that it has been a fantastic tax season. It has gone smoothly. It has gone efficiently from the point of view of the IRS, but most importantly, it's been a great tax season for the American people. Thanks to promises made, promises kept, through the working families tax cuts, the president has delivered the record refunds to the American people. More than 45% of the filers of...
Glenn Max said, you're the problem. I probably fucking am. I know I'm a problem. I know every night I fire up this live, it's somebody that starts sweating bullets. They just mad as fuck. They hate seeing me. They hate my do-rag. They hate my dreads. They hate my vernacular. They just hate me. They just hate me. I might be the fucking problem. So what? Deal with it, nigga.
Of the returns that we have seen have had at least one of the 4 president's signature policies: no tax and tips, no tax and overtime, the deductions for our great seniors, and the deductibility of interest on auto loans for American-made cars. And I will tell you that the biggest, one of those that Americans have taken is no tax and overtime. And it's the American way. If you want to work longer hours, you get to keep more of your money. And with that, we are seeing, I want to encourage everyone out there watching today to change their withholding if they haven't already done so, because if you change your withholding...
Here you go. Y'all just want a handout. Why not rattle a tin can? It would be more honest. Why don't you say that the fucking the Walton family? Why you don't say that to Sam Altman? Why you don't say that to anybody, man? Why you don't say that to Microsoft? Why don't you say that to these AI data centers that are getting all of these tax breaks? You want to say it to little old me. Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I, man? Who the fuck am I to a $1 billion corporation? Who the fuck am I to a $1 trillion corporation, man? Shit's crazy.
Then you will get an automatic real wage increase on a weekly or a monthly basis, and you will be able to keep more of your money this calendar year. So with that, We have also seen with the Trump accounts, we have had 5 million families file for Trump accounts for their children. 1.2 million of those are eligible.
It's like, we'll okay these people in power to give all of these tax breaks to corporations. They're like, oh, the tax breaks are gonna create jobs. Where are the fucking jobs? They're laying people the fuck off. They're replacing people with AI. Where are the fucking jobs? Oh, it's going back to the fucking shareholders in this fabricated, manipulated market. Do you not get this shit? Tax breaks, it'll create jobs. We'll do local hiring. Where, nigga?
Eligible for the $1,000 seed bonus. So we look forward to that picking up more and more. For those of you who haven't done it, it's easy to remember, Form 4547. You can do it while you're filing your taxes. You can do it at any point during the year. We think this is going to be transformational in terms of financial literacy. This is Financial Literacy Month, and at Treasury and all over the administration, we are working with the American people, with American families, not only to give them more of their money, but to show them how to invest it in a safe, smart, and sound way. So with that, I will turn it over to Kelly.
Great. Thank you, Scott, and good afternoon, everyone. Excited to be here on tax day. Important day.
Honestly, Chad. Honestly, it's holding on by a fucking thread, a Band-Aid. You saying we're holding, us as Americans are doing something wrong because we're upset. Corporations are getting billions and trillions in tax breaks, paying nothing. Oh, well, they'll bring jobs. There's no fucking jobs, man. There's no fucking jobs. Private equities buying everything the fuck up, man. You got meals at Wendy's that's fucking $15, bro. You can't even get anything out of a fast food menu, a combo meal less than fucking $13, $14, Chad. You used to be able to sit down and eat for that price. Corporations, who's buying all of this shit? Who owns all of these fast food chains now? The same people that say if you give us tax breaks, we'll hire some motherfuckers. But guess what? How are they hiring people? Hiring who? They don't even hire people to give them full time because they don't want to fucking have to give you insurance and benefits. Who the fuck are they hiring?
Day for small business because small business and their employees have real relief thanks to President Trump's working family tax cuts. As administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration, it is my great honor to serve our great president as the cabinet level voice for America's 36 million small businesses. President Trump is right. Small business is big business. Indeed. They are a massive economic engine that creates 2/3 of all new jobs. They represent 99% of all businesses, and they drive about half of our GDP. The working family tax cuts are putting money back into the pockets of the hardest working Americans. That's why small business and their employees are benefiting the most. President Trump and congressional Republicans
What up, Carlos?
have saved Americans from a $4 trillion tax hike, including a staggering 20% tax increase on working families. It would have destroyed.
You said there's jobs everywhere around here right now. What are the quality of the jobs, man? The average entry-level job is getting 241 applicants. Excuse me, Chad. What are we talking about, man? Are we talking about ghost jobs or are we talking about actual jobs? Are we talking about the run-of-the-mill shit that I just spoke on where they're not going to let you go full-time and get all your benefits? Man, why the hell is my gimbal keep dying, Chad? Damn. It does this shit every episode. Oh, well. We'll rock with it like that, chat. We'll just do it like that.
Millions of jobs. Now, I've traveled the country from Maine to Alaska, and not a single worker, not a single small business asked to pay $1 more in taxes. Yet every single congressional Democrat voted to raise taxes, not just on small businesses, on our workers, on our seniors, on hardworking families. Thankfully, Republicans united behind common sense policy of letting Americans, not Washington bureaucrats or fraudsters, keep more of what they earn. Now, so far, as you've just heard, 12 million small businesses have an average tax saving of $7,000. The 20% small business pass-through deduction is now permanent, offering them certainty to plan for the future and the rocket fuel to create 1 million new jobs. Eric Williams at Prince Manufacturing in rural Georgia. He specializes in fabrication and machining. This year, he's reinvesting his tax savings to hire 500 new employees. The provisions for 100% expensing of equipment, expansion, and R&D are also growing production to help us reclaim industrial dominance. At Blue Patriot Fab,
this lady up here talking about 500 new jobs. Man, we just lost like, what, 120,000 jobs in a month? This lady talking about 500 new jobs. We just lost damn near 120,000 jobs in damn near a month, bro. The fuck is wrong with this lady, man? Damn, Chad. I'm trying to get my shit right. All right.
which I visited this week in Omaha. The owners.
Oh, chat, we got 10 minutes. We're 11 likes away, chat. We're 11 likes away. We got 10 minutes, man. I need y'all to hit that like button for me, chat. We got 10 minutes. We're 11 likes away.
Highlighted one of their newest buildings, and they call it the Big Beautiful Building because the tax cuts helped them build it. Made in America is back, and that's why the America worker is winning too. No tax on tips and overtime means that millions of employees are now rewarded, not punished, for working more. And it's already benefited, as you just heard, 31 million taxpayers. In Baltimore, John and Tony Minidakis are proud second-generation owners of Jimmy's Seafood. Now, with no tax on tips and overtime, their 200 employees know that coming into work means going home with more pay. And Wade, a CNC machinist that I met at Lehigh Valley Plastics in Pennsylvania, said he routinely takes on extra shifts, and now the tax cuts reward his extra effort. And the benefits aren't just for tax season. As you've heard, the Trump accounts are connecting young people from birth to the power of our free enterprise system. With 529 savings accounts and Workforce Pell for trade schools, we're now training the next generation of skilled workers to fill millions of open jobs at small businesses. So in closing, America is open for business again, yet every Democrat voted no on.
Jerry said why he fired Pam so she could try to slip out of that the oversight committee. They don't want her speaking in front of oversight. They think because she got her ass fired, she don't have to speak. But shit, I think they on her ass. They talking about holding her in contempt.
On the very tax relief that is restoring Main Street, that is putting more money back into the pockets of hardworking families. Small businesses are rebounding from years of Biden inflation, decades of unfair trade, and massive regulatory.
You said, my buddy looked for an electrician's helper and offered $20 an hour starting pay with no experience. Nobody applied. See, the path to becoming an electrician is long, man. Like $20 an hour, it's like, damn, you damn near got to put in 8 years before it really just is rewarding. It's like you're like a fucking fourth year journeyman. I mean, as an electrician, it's like you come in at 20 an hour, but you might stay at 20 an hour for 5 years, man.
Overreach. But thanks to President Trump's tax cuts, they now talk about expansion, hiring plans, and generational opportunity. This is America First in action. Lower taxes, rising wages, and a thriving Main Street. Now millions of Americans are getting their largest tax refund ever, and Main Street is getting historic tax relief to keep the American dream alive. Thank you.
Good. And before we take questions, I want to provide some numbers for you all. So tax day statistics as of April.
Nah, like he's talking about no experience, so it's an apprenticeship. I'm just gonna be honest. The average pay where I'm at for an apprentice, like electrician, is like $16, bro. Like 16 to $20. So when he's saying his friend offered him $20, like that's kind of on the high end with no experience, and you're probably gonna stay there for a little minute. You know what I'm saying?
April 12th, over 53 million filers, nearly 45% claimed one of President Trump's signature tax cuts. The average tax cut for filers benefiting from one of President's new tax cuts is over $800. Over 6 million filers have claimed no tax on tips with an average deduction of $7,100. Over 25 million filers have claimed no tax on overtime with an average deduction of $3,100. Over 30 million seniors have claimed the enhanced deduction for seniors with an average deduction of $7,500. And over 1 million filers have claimed no tax on car loan interest on American cars for an average deduction of over $1,800. The average refund this filing season is over $3,400. Over 34 million families have claimed Republicans' enhanced child tax credit, which is permanently doubled and expanded by the working families.
We got us another one, chat. Motherfuckers don't know, man. I live for this shit at night sometimes. Hot bod R1 says, you trying to look smart. Nigga, I got a fucking do-rag on, bruh. I got a do-rag on and I'm smoking, yelling with some Dollar General earbuds in. And you said I'm trying to look smart. The fuck is wrong with you, man?
Tax cuts. Over 105 million filers have claimed the permanently doubled standard deduction, simplifying tax filing for millions across America. So as much as people do not like to pay their taxes, and we saw a survey today that 70% of Americans still believe that they are overtaxed, this is a great day for the American people.
Thank you, Scott and Kelly. We'll now open it up to questions. You're welcome to ask me questions or either of the great cabinet officials next to me. And we'll start, as always, with our new media seat, Mr. Posobiec. Why don't you kick us off?
That's what I'm saying. He coming here saying you trying to look smart. I just be myself, chat. Like I'm really a character in real life. Like, you know, when I come in and I do the politician plug or I do the different shit, man, like that's me. Like I turn up, I have fun. And when I'm chilling, nigga, I'm chilling. I got on some pajama pants, a black tee, and a do-rag, chat. I'm smelling like Versace, Euros, and Degree. I'm at home. I've had a long day, nigga. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Caroline. Secretary Bessent, if I may, there's been this media narrative out there that while we see the data on tax refunds, that it's not good enough, that the tax season has been too soft. What is your response to this media narrative regarding the tax refunds?
Look, it's been an incredible tax season. We have done more with less at the IRS, that we have moved over millions of taxpayers to digital tax accounts, and that leaves us able to service more taxpayers in person and on the phone. And as we can see, the economy was very strong. We are seeing growth across the board in all areas, and as Kelly said, you know, small business, Main Street are really the big beneficiaries, and this is what they don't want you to hear. That, you know, Wall Street always done great. This administration is focused on parallel prosperity and bringing prosperity back to Main Street, and that starts with people keeping more of their money.
That's what I'm saying, Burnt Popcorn. You said a starter home here in SoCal is $1 million on that. What do you want me to do? Fucking sell bricks? Like, I'm supposed to be Pablo Escobar, $1 million starter home? What am I supposed to do with that, man? I'm gonna keep my talents in the South, man. $1 million starter home in SoCal, man. For what? For the house off Friday, man? Come on, Jay. Hell no.
For Caroline, as well as the administration in general, if I may, this past Saturday, I published a video of now former Representative Eric Swalwell in bed. The president's heading to Las Vegas. Well, Eric Swalwell was in Las Vegas in this video. I'm told, according to geotagging, this scandal has erupted now, accusers coming forward, many others coming forward, as well as questions regarding his extremely close relationship with Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego. And I want to know if the administration had any comment on the fact that Senator Gallego seemed to be very vocal about wanting the release of the Epstein files, and yet when questions come to his own involvement with Eric Swalwell, he doesn't seem to want to provide anything.
Yeah, look, I think the accusations and allegations against former Representative Swalwell are despicable and disgusting. I think it's also quite plausible, as you point out, Jack, that there were many other Democrats in this town on Capitol Hill who knew about his perhaps illegal behavior, certainly his disgusting and inappropriate behavior, and why were they silent for so long? I think those are questions that must be raised of these sitting representatives, including Mr. Gallego, and I hope that the journalists in this room will do their jobs, and the journalists on Capitol Hill will do their jobs to ask Democrats in power how they knew about such despicable behavior from one of their elected representatives for so long, but never said or did anything about it. So that's what we hope to see as far as the White House and the president is concerned. Thank you. Peter.
Thank you. I have one for you and then one for Secretary Besson.
Sure.
For you, Caroline, there are now 10 American scientists who have either gone missing or died since mid-2024. They all reportedly had access to classified nuclear or aerospace material. Is anybody investigating this to see if these things are connected?
I've seen the report, Peter. I haven't spoken to our relevant agencies about it. I will certainly do that and we'll get you an answer. If true, of course, that's definitely something I think this government and administration would deem worth looking into, so let me do that for you.
Thank you. And Secretary Besson, it doesn't sound like we're going to have $3 a gallon gas by summertime, which we had initially been told by the Energy Secretary. He now says that it would be very aggressive if we're going to get to the $3 a gallon gas by the summer. So when are we really going to get $3 a gallon gas?
Well, I think that's going to be the up to how the negotiations go. President Trump said this morning that he thinks we're nearing the end. The U.S. kept their side on the ceasefire. We've stopped firing. The Straits of Hormuz have not been completely reopened, so we will see. And I'm optimistic that during the summer we will see gas with a 3 in front of it sooner rather than later. It's Bank Week here in D.C., so I've been meeting with a lot of my Middle Eastern counterparts, the finance ministers, and they all say that once the straits are open, they can start pumping again within 1 week.
So not by summer, like Memorial Day, but maybe by Labor Day?
Again, I'm optimistic that sometime between June 20th and September 20th that we can have $3 gas again. And as I said this morning too, we are going to be watching the gas stations because they raise prices very quickly when when the crude oil prices went up. We hope they'll bring them down just as quickly as crude oil prices have come down, which they've come down substantially just in the past 10 days.
Great. Sure.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Can you give us an update on the president's thinking on the next attorney general? A lot of names have been going around, like Ron DeSantis, Rudy Giuliani, Ed Martin. They're being floated as contenders. What qualities is the president looking for in a new AG? And will there be accountability for what many have described as weaponization within Biden's office when he was the president?
Sure. Well, certainly ensuring that there's accountability for the weaponization of justice that took place under the Biden administration is a top priority for this president. With respect to names that are floated, there are always names floated in the press. Sometimes I have a chuckle when I read some of the reports about certain people floated for certain jobs. As far
Chat, how much was gas the last time you pulled up at the pump, man? Let us know how much gas was, where, and about what area you were in. How much was gas? What region were you in the last time you got some, chat? We're 25 likes away from the next like goal, chat. We're not moving that sub counter fast enough. We're 20 subs away from the next sub goal as well. We go live every single night over talking politics, current events, and entertainment, man. Hit the like button, chat.
As far as the president is concerned right now, Todd Blanche remains the acting attorney general. The president feels he's doing a good job, and that's where it remains right now. I don't have any personnel updates for you today. Annie.
Thank you, Caroline. I have a question for you and also for the Treasury Secretary. First of all, there was an interview that Dr. Mehmet Oz did recently where he described the president's views on his own diet. He said that he argued that diet soda is good for him because it kills grass. And if you pour it onto the grass, the grass is killed and it therefore must kill cancer cells. I'm wondering if you can, was this sort of an accurate description of how the president sees?
Look, as we all know in this room, I think you know the president has a very good sense of humor. It's one of his most underreported characteristics, I would say. I have heard him tell this joke before. I think the Wall Street Journal should get a better sense of humor.
And then another one for you. Has the president filed his taxes and is he going to release them publicly?
It's actually a very good question. I have not inquired with the president directly about his own taxes, but I'm happy to do so, and we'll get you an answer on that.
Secretary Besson,
I have filed my taxes.
The president has publicly said that you are the reason that he has not fired Chairman Jay Powell. Will you make that case again to him, as he's recently said that he still wants to fire the chairman?
Look, I am confident that the process that we have laid out in terms of Kevin Warsh, becoming the next Fed chair, he's going to have the hearing on the 21st of this month. He's a great candidate. We know that the Republicans on the Senate Banking Committee are aligned in that, and I am very optimistic that Kevin Warsh will be the chair of the Fed on time, and that will be a moot question.
Stephen, go ahead.
Secretary Besson, you mentioned that the no tax on overtime is the biggest one that people are claiming. I think you said 25 million people. Have you seen evidence that more companies are offering overtime or that people are working more overtime and increasing their productivity? And the second question, the health insurance industry.
All right, man. That's enough of that, man. I ain't trying to listen to Bessie talk, man. I thought that was going to be Caroline. I really ain't trying to listen to Bessie. He ain't talking about a motherfucking thing, Chad.
We're in the third day of the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. The Trump administration says the action is working so far. Of particular interest is its effect on China. Here's Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin.
All vessels are advised to immediately return to port if leaving and discontinue transit to Iran if that is your next port of call.
U.S. Central Command broadcasting this warning, announcing that 10 vessels, including 9 oil tankers, have been turned around since the U.S. blockade began Monday.
Vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure, transiting to or from an Iranian port. Turn around and prepare to be boarded. If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force.
The White House believes the pressure campaign is beginning to work, with one analyst saying Iran may have just 2 weeks of oil storage capacity left.
I think in a matter of 2 months, we're going to see regime really reaching the point of not being able to pay salaries and riots in defections within the regime.
The blockade also sends a message to Beijing
that we have the means and ability to impose cost if countries like China decide to take actions that are destabilizing or would be threatening to our national security interests.
China buys over 1 million barrels per day in crude oil from Iran, 90% of Iran's total oil exports, and is aware that the U.S. Navy could effectively halt Chinese commerce in the South China Sea if it were to enforce a similar choke point strategy there. The Strait of Malacca, the busiest shipping lane on Earth and the primary energy route for China, is often called the Hormuz of Asia. Wedged between Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, it links the Indian Ocean to the South China Sea, handling twice the global trade each day as the Strait of Hormuz. 25% of the world's oil passes through Malacca each day. It is just 2 miles wide at its narrowest point. Fox has confirmed exclusive reporting from the Financial Times that Iran used a Chinese spy satellite to target U.S. bases in the Middle East last month. The IRGC obtained access to the Chinese satellite shortly after its launch in late 2024 and apparently tasked it with monitoring U.S. military sites before and after drone and missile strikes on the U.S. bases. Brett.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. But first, breaking tonight, President Trump says he believes the conflict with Iran is, quote, close to over. The president
I thought yesterday he said it was over, man. Every day is fucking different, man. Somebody go check on Don, bro. Somebody gonna check on Bulletproof, bro. It went from it's over to it's close to over to it's done. The war is over. The war is essentially over. Every day it's something fucking. Somebody go check on Don, man.
Telling Maria Bartiromo of Fox News, another round of talks could happen within the next 2 days. This comes amid concerns over China's involvement and the effects on the U.S. economy. Senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. Officials here are telling us they think as soon as negotiations with Iran wrap up and the Strait of Hormuz opens back up, then gas prices will start to drop. Problem is, we don't know when negotiations with Iran will wrap up or when the Strait of Hormuz will open back up.
The message is the short-term volatility for long-term gain.
Peace talks between the U.S. and Iran remain paused.
I saw some reporting, again, bad reporting this morning, that we had formally requested an extension of the ceasefire. That is not true at this moment.
Part of the problem, Iran says it will negotiate on enriched.
You said you guys do realize he's the president of the United States. He's required from his oath to say certain. You talking about the oath he said where he didn't put his hand on the Bible? The same oath he said when he didn't put his hand on the Bible.
Uranium, it just won't stop altogether.
The Islamic Republic of Iran, based on its needs, must be allowed to continue enrichment.
But stopping enrichment was the whole point of Operation Epic Fury.
If I didn't do that, right now you would have Iran with a nuclear weapon.
On Saturday, President Trump warned China not to send air defense systems to Iran.
If China does that, China's going to have big problems, okay?
5 days later, the president announces they have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. A few weeks ago, officials were very optimistic about gas prices.
You said the strait is open. It's never closed, only closed to the U.S. The U.S. is the one that got that motherfucker closed. What is you talking about? U.S. got the blockade on it. Lady just said they turned 10 ships around, man. In 3 days, they turned 10. You just heard that man said, turn around or you will be boarded. Turn around or you will be boarded, man. We going to interdict this shit, man. It's closed. It's closed.
Prices, which today average $4.11 a gallon.
Are you confident that gas will be back under $3 a gallon by the busy summer travel season, Mr. Secretary?
And what's even crazier is they're going to fucking turn around. You know why they're going to turn around? Because they have tape. They have footage of the U.S. boarding ships, oil tankers, and taking them bitches back to America. Let's be honest, man. Trump took, what was it, the Russian oil tanker he seized out there off the coast of Venezuela. There was like two tankers he seized, man. We'll take that shit, man, and bring that shit back to the United States. And it's not even about the countries just thinking about it too. It's the insurance companies. What insurance companies is gonna be like, hey man, you get that shit in it, man. I ain't fucking with it.
There's a very good chance that'll be true.
That was March 15th. On April 13th,
Well, by the summer is aggressive time frame now.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has a specific window. When are we really going to get $3 a gallon gas?
Well, I think that's going to be the up to how the negotiations go. President Trump said this morning that he thinks we're nearing the end. I'm optimistic that sometime between June 20th and September 20th that we can have $3 gas again.
Secretary Bessent also told us that officials here are very closely watching gas stations.
You said the U.S. has not boarded any Iranian or Chinese vessels. They haven't had to. Motherfuckers been turning around. The ones that's been loaded in Iran. Now the Chinese vessel that did get to go through, that was loaded with in the UAE. That's the reason they let that one vessel go through, or because it was loaded in the UAE. They just turned down 10 of them. Turned around 10 of them. And if those 10 ships hadn't have turned around, they were going to be boarded.
Station owners who quickly raised gas prices when the price of oil went up, they want to make sure that those owners bring the prices down quickly as well whenever that happens. Brett.
Peter Ducey, live in the North Lawn.
If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force.
Well, there's the blockade enforcement. The speakers from the vessels, there have been a number of developments. No ships allowed in or out of Iranian ports. Humanitarian shipments are being permitted, subject to inspection. There have been 10 vessels turned around since the beginning, and it depends on who you ask, but it could be costing the Iranians more than $100 million a day. Let's bring in our panel out here in California. Yemisi Egbewale, former Chief of Staff Advisor to the Biden White House Press Office. Caroline Sunshine, former Trump 2024 Campaign Deputy Communications Director. And Trace Gallagher, anchor of Fox News at Night. Trace, thanks for having me in your studio.
Brett, great to have you. You look good in that chair.
Oh, nice. What do you think of this? It seems like it may be moving the needle as far as getting them back to the table.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. You know, I listen to politicians, a lot of sound. I like listening to the generals. The generals war game this stuff. They know it inside and out. And when the generals are saying, listen, when you start blockading the Gulf of Oman and you're not letting these Iranian ships out, it's one, draining the funds, right? So as you said, $100 million a day at the very least. The estimates could be higher than that. But the big detrimental thing for Iran is that after a while, after 13 days, 17 days, not only are you not having those ships going out making any money at all, but you can't.
Chat, I need everyone to hit the like button on your way in. Double tap the screen. We're 25 likes away from the next like goal, man.
Put oil anywhere. They run out of places to put the oil, so then you have to consider shutting down the oil wells themselves, and it becomes a huge detriment when you're talking about the economy as well as the infrastructure for the oil, and that becomes a problem. So you can see where the Iranians are like, maybe it's time we get back to the table and work a deal on this.
You know, I listen to the Democrats, Yemisi, and it depends, but most of them kind of stick to the talking points, the prices that people feel here, the gas prices, the fact that this wasn't really thought out is really what they talk about. But there's a chance that they could shoot the gap here and that they get a deal with the Iranians. And then what?
Well, and then the Democrats kind of have to pivot to how this impacts people domestically and what the harms have been leading up to this point.
You said trying to cover up the files.
Look, we had a fourth failed vote with the War Powers Resolution, and there are a lot of people within the Democratic base that are saying, what else can we do? You know, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is kind of saying we can't do much else. We really have to hold them to the vote on that one end. And on the second, we have to figure out what the end game date is. And Democrats, really, that is their point of pressure there.
You said those files don't matter, my man. I believe they matter more than anybody is really thinking of, than a lot of people. I'm not going to say anybody. I believe they matter more than a lot of people think they are because of 9/11 and what's implicated in 9/11. Of course, there's a lot of atrocities in there. A lot of very degenerate shit, very devious shit, horrendous shit. But I believe it's a lot of missing information about 9/11 in there because the time period, we have gotten no files from the time period of 99 to, I believe, what was it, 2002?
There is a hunger on the Republican side, too, Caroline, for an end date, because they know the longer this goes, the more it threatens the political standing ahead of the midterms.
Yes, so I mean, at the beginning of this war, the Strait of Hormuz was open, and now it's, closed, then open, then closed again. Most Americans aren't waking up every day going, is the strait open or closed? But they are aware that we are in a war. And China wants to see us stay as long as possible. Iran would like to see the U.S. stay as long as possible. But we have to define what a win looks like for us, and what a win looks like for the president politically is getting out of this war as soon as possible. There's a segment of the president's base that will stay with him regardless of if the strait is open or closed. But for everybody else, the moderates, the independents, the young men, the Arab Americans in Michigan, I hear from them constantly, we have to get out of this conflict and end it now, and the president can get that political win back. But that window's closing.
There's also this political frustration, Trace, about if we're producing all this oil and natural gas, why do we have the international prices, tied to it? And I had experts on last night saying, because we are tied to it, and there aren't enough refineries here, and we haven't changed our system to be able to produce what we need to produce.
We had a guy on a couple of nights ago, and the same thing. They're like, okay, well, the deal is it's all whole world's involved in this, and I know America's only getting 2% of the oil through the Strait of Hormuz, but it's the whole thing you have to look at. And you're like, well, explain it to me because I don't get it. Why are prices going up here? And then they look at all the other stuff. Everything that's made with oil. Everything impacts the overall pricing of things. And so when you talk about gas, you talk about a world crunch, you have this emotional aspect on Wall Street and in the oil.
You said J.D. Vance will lose if he runs with Erica Kirk. J.D. Vance might not even be fucking running. J.D. Vance might not even win a primary.
Oil circles of the world that says, listen, prices are going to go up partly because of emotion, partly because of supply. That's just the way things go. But a lot of people don't understand why if we only get 2%, why is it $7 outside the door? I mean, that's California. You literally had the former mayor of Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, with a little bit of truth serum this week coming out saying that the prices in California have nothing to do with Trump. This is all California stuff, and he's a Democrat. He's running for governor, and he's right. I mean, the gas taxes and everything else makes this a big deal.
Yeah, see, it is tax day, April 15th. If you look at the average tax refund, it's up 11% from 1 year ago. The Trump administration is touting this, saying there's more money in people's pockets despite inflation, and they think it's going to increase as they get closer and closer to the fall. You buy that?
No, I do not. I think that if your tax refund is higher, you're probably crediting your accountant and not really the president of the United States. You're getting a higher tax refund, but prices, groceries, gas, rent are high across the board. So I don't think it's really going to level out in a positive direction like they want it to.
Caroline?
Well, I think you just look at the successful policies of no tax on tips and the Trump savings accounts. You know, we can't lose sight of the trees in the forest, if you will. And the fact is this isn't just about midterm and success in midterms. This is about that I think socialism will be on the ballot in 2028 for the presidency if Americans are going to reject or accept that. And the best defense against that is getting more Americans meaningfully participating.
I'm going to be honest. If they put DeSantis, Rubio, Vance, any of these people in there, nothing's going to change. Nothing.
Participating in capitalism. And what the president's done with no tax on tips and the Trump savings accounts is allow more Americans to meaningfully participate. So I think it's an optics challenge, actually. I don't think Americans actually want to see grandma delivering DoorDash to the White House because we don't want grandma to be working at that age. What we want to see is young Americans getting in homes with the president handing them the keys.
You're saying they shouldn't have done the DoorDash at the Oval Office?
Grandma shouldn't be DoorDash.
Okay.
We want to see young families getting in homes. That's exciting and hopeful for us, and we can do it with the money that people are saving through those policies.
All right, maybe a note to your old colleagues about that whole event. New York Times, Trace, Trump increased tax refunds, but a political challenge still looms. Republicans lost the House in 2018 despite passing a major tax cut at the end of 2017. Political scientists generally see a weak relationship between policy changes and voter attitudes. Yeah. Some studies have shown that people who received a new tax benefit.
You said, would you rather see Kamala as president? Hell, I'd see what she talking about. Hell, at this point, might well see what she talking about. Fuck it. We throwing shit against the wall, seeing what stick. Fuck it. Give her a shot.
Credited the additional funds to the person who helped them file their taxes rather than the political party that passed the law, to Yemisi's point.
And don't you often see that? I mean, we talked about 2018 where, you know, the Democrats took back the House, right, in 2018, and you had the Republicans passing big tax reform. So what happens is there a correlation? The answer is maybe there is. Maybe people are satisfied with this, and maybe it's just something else. Maybe it's just the way you talk a lot about, you know, what does the whiteboard look like? What does the calendar look like in the Senate and the House, and how is this thing going to go in the certain districts? A lot of it plays into that. I mean, it's one of those things, Brett, where you laugh because I have a financial analyst buddy of mine's like, everybody is like, the gas prices are killing us, and nobody says a word that a glass of Chardonnay is $25 down the road, right? That's the whole thing. It's perspective.
Choices. Here's the Senate Majority Leader on your point. Take a listen, John Thune.
Obviously, what's happening in Iran impacts fuel prices, but we hope those start to normalize as well. And I think eventually, as we get out and have an opportunity to communicate that'll come across to the American people, and they're going to start feeling it more and more in their pocketbooks as we hit a day like today, which is the tax filing deadline for Americans.
Quickly, deadline is a big part of that when it comes to Iran.
Yeah, and it'll really line up with voters if they see the prices go down at the gas tank. That's where it is.
Panel, thanks.
Thank you, Brett.
We remain very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. We feel good about the prospects of a deal. The president mentioned that in his interview.
I don't have blind rage against Trump, chat. I don't have blind rage against Trump. Steve has blind rage against Trump. Steve fucking hates Trump, man. What I have blind rage against is the fucking establishment. The bought and paid for politicians. The one that sell us out at every blink of an eye, every turn of a corner. The ones that, you know, do what they do. That's what I'm mad at. I don't hate Trump. I hate the Trump lie. I hate the Trump's getting us in some shit.
Yesterday, and it's obviously in the best interest of Iran.
I don't hate anybody, chat. I'm just not a hateful person. But I don't like anybody either. You know how that works, Chad. I don't hate anyone. I just really don't like motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't like you motherfuckers. Like
To meet the president's demands. I think he's made his red lines in these negotiations very clear.
The White House keeping the door to diplomacy open with Iran halfway through this 2-week ceasefire. President Trump telling Fox Business that he believes the conflict is, quote, close to over and will take Iran 20 years to rebuild what has been damaged so far. And he says we're not even done. Let's bring in Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State and former CIA director during President Trump's first term. He's also a Fox News contributor. Secretary,
good night, Neil.
Thank you very much for being here.
Hey, good night, Neil. You have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. Neil says, be easy, chat. Love everyone to smile as much as possible. I'm out. Hey, thanks for leaving that message, Neil. Thanks for leaving that message with us, Neil. Have a good night, man.
Great to be with you, Martha.
Let's take a look at this quick soundbite from Morning TV. Watch this.
Talking to people in the region yesterday, they believe the dynamics have changed radically and that Iran went from having time on their side to Iran now understanding they are going to have to eventually come to a deal. They're really starting to feel the heat economically if the United States, they say, will continue the blockade.
So everything that comes in and out of Iran is blocked right now. That's a very difficult position for them to be in. Do you think we're getting close to the end of this, and what does that look like to you?
Well, Martha, I don't know how close it is, whether it's days or weeks or months, but if you ask directionally, are we much closer today than we were a week ago or 3 weeks ago? I think the answer to that is absolutely, with perfect certainty, that is the case. It's the case for the reasons that was just described. To the extent this blockade is in place, the Iranians have now played their final kinetic overt card, and they are now going to figure out they can't make payroll. They can't continue to...
That's what I'm saying. I don't have TDS. I don't have blind hate towards Trump. I just told you I don't hate anyone. I dislike people. I don't like any fucking body, man. I just don't like these motherfuckers, man. But I don't like what the fuck Trump's doing. Like, I don't like none of this shit, bro. None of what was promised had came to fruition, man. We're talking about the borders closed. The Republicans just voted to give the Haitians TPS, man. So the Republicans, they sold y'all out, man. So when we get to talking about, oh, what's going on and shit, man, hey, they passed that shit. Senate passed that shit. Trump said what? He's about to let all the H-1Bs just file for some more H-1Bs or approve some more H-1Bs. We talking about? Now we're over here in the Middle East. Where the fuck are all these people gonna go? Borders right back. The borders closed, but what else is fucking open? What promise did we get, man? Told us we was getting $2,000 checks, then said, oh shit, I don't even remember saying it. Now they back talking about tariff refund. Privacy gone. Privacy gone. Then y'all want to talk about fucking DeSantis. DeSantis doesn't have a spine. What do you mean? DeSantis has no spine. He showed us he didn't have a fucking spine. DeSantis got up there, had a whole fucking press conference about how they're going to regulate AI in Florida and they're not going for this AI shit. Trump put an executive order out saying, hey, look, man, no state law holds any fucking weight when it comes to AI. DeSantis didn't say shit. Didn't say shit. Shut the fuck up. That's what he did. He shut the fuck up.
To provide power to their citizens. So the situation, the political and economic situation inside the country for the leadership that remains, whether there's another military strike or not, is going to just become more difficult day by day by day. And that will, in the end, cause the Iranian regime have to make a very difficult decision. Do you go try and take one last shot at this, knowing that it will, in the end, fail? Or do you lick your wounds, take the pounding, and accept the terms that President Trump has laid down for them?
So, I mean, this is a radical, theocratic government that has sort of a very different way of looking at the world. And they have said, you know, basically they'll fight till the end to preserve the regime. But then there's this idea that there are more pragmatic people at the top of the chain these days. Do you think that's true?
Martha, I don't think it's true. I don't think it's remotely true. You know, people have been searching for Iranian moderates for decades, and they to me, they're much like unicorns. They're often discussed but seldom seen, right? They just, I don't see that being the case. I don't think these folks are any more hardline or any less hardline. But reality does have a virtue of its own. The reality that they're out of runway, out of time, and out of choices may well cause them to do what the Ayatollah did before, right? He said, I'm going to drink from the poison chalice. They may have to accept a set of terms that they don't like, hoping that 5 or 10 years from now, they can get another run at this thing. I don't think President Trump's going to give them that opportunity, but this is the once-in-a-decade opportunity to deliver for the American people the security against these folks who've been trying to destroy Israel and us for 47 years.
Well, that's a great point, and that's the big...
Man, you talking about, look, then you understand why Iran can't have nukes. Man, listen, Iran not having nukes, man, listen. What I'm about to say is this, chat. It's going to be a lot of shit blowing up before they even think about blowing up America. I'm just going to be honest with you, chat. Next, they're talking about Turkey. Y'all will say, oh, Turkey's going to blow up America too. We got to go get them. They're NATO. Then it'll be when we go try to take Greenland and Denmark comes, you'll be like, oh, we had to handle Denmark because of, you know, they've been a problem for however long. Y'all pull up some fucking stat from the 30s or something, man. Go to Cuba, you know, next. Stop by Cuba, and it's crazy, bro. I mean, you know me, chat. I get on here and keep this shit real. That's why they don't really want to platform me. That's why y'all don't see me on these other shows doing other shit, because I know I'm going to say some shit, man. I'm going to keep it fucking real, man. Motherfuckers is not as humanitarian as they think. Y'all aren't. Y'all don't care. It's crazy. You care more about your neighbor's dog getting ran over than you do about a whole country. Starving. Getting blown to smithereens. Let your neighbor's dog get ran the fuck over. You might shed a tear for that little motherfucker. You didn't even pet that bitch when it was around. You didn't even pet the damn dog, but gonna cry with your neighbor.
Big picture of this, whether this is a legacy issue for President Trump, whether he can look back and say, ultimately, we broke the back of the Iranian regime and the rest of the world in the region shifted dramatically because of it. And we already see that happening with the alliances with the Gulf states and Israel and the United States, that the power structure has shifted thanks to the work that you did when you were there and also the Abraham Accords and everything after that. But my question is, if they feel they've failed at conventional warfare, ship-to-ship missiles that were being flown, you know, in the skies, do they just resort to the same terrorist tactics, potentially new cyber threat tactics to try to debilitate the United States and Israel in other ways?
Martha, history would suggest that will be the path that they choose. Once they're out of true military options, they will, whether that's an assassination campaign or the threat of such, whether it's cyber, you mentioned that, right? I've been very surprised, and I give great credit to our NSA and our security officials. They haven't conducted an important cyber action yet to date. I imagine they have tried, and we have thwarted that. But I do think, Martha, when you asked about is this nearer the end, I think the last and final throes of the Iranian regime won't be peaceful and quiet. They will try one more time to extract something, and that could be not ship to ship, not in the Gulf, not mining, but something that looks very different from that, the way they've tried to do forever. Could be in a different theater, could be in Europe, could be someplace else other than in the Middle East. Trying one time to get the United States to back down, trying to convince President Trump it's not worth the candle. I don't think he'll fall for it.
Yeah, terrorism has been their go-to for a long, long time. A lot of people have suffered by it.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's quick and easy in a lot of instances. So we'll see where this goes. We hope that's not where it goes. Thank you so much, Secretary Pompeo. Good to see you as always.
Y'all didn't bite the bone, man. I thought somebody was gonna bite the bone. You know, I was really forming y'all rage baiting chat. Yes, I picked the animal. I see y'all talking about the animals. Yes, I chose a dog for the sole purpose because we're talking about Iran and Islam. Yes, I said that you would shed a tear for your neighbor's dog that got hit by the damn school bus before you cried about all of these atrocities going on throughout the world. Yes, I picked a dog purposely. Rage bait. Get mad.
Fox News alert. It's day 3 of the U.S. blockade against ports in Iran. CENTCOM says so far, no Iranian ships have breached it. Maybe this warning had something to do with it.
Do not attempt to breach the blockade. Vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure, transiting to or from an Iranian port. Turn around and prepare to be boarded. If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force. The whole of the United States Navy is ready to force compliance. Now,
President Trump says we may be getting closer to a deal after signaling peace talks could restart in the next few days.
I think it's close to over. Yeah, I mean, I view it as very close to over.
Chat, do you think we get a deal before that deadline? I believe Trump put a 2-week deadline out a week and a few days ago, but I heard something that he may have extended it until the 27th. So we'll go with the 27th. Do you think the U.S., Israel, and Iran have a deal struck by the 27th, chat? Yes or no? We got to double tap the screen, chat. Everyone hit the like button right now. Go to the top, hit the 3 dots. We got to hit 200 likes before the second hour. We're 41 likes away.
Over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country. And we're not finished. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal very badly.
The White House is turning up the economic pressure today. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says more financial pain is on the way for Iran.
We have told countries that if you are buying Iranian oil, that if Iranian money is sitting in your banks, we are now willing to apply secondary sanctions, which is a very stern measure. And the Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities.
Max, you finna have them folks over there at your neighbor house. You said your neighbor be fighting his dog. Did you see what they did to Michael Vick? Shit. Michael Vick got a second chance at life about that dog fight. They finna be over there coming to see what your neighbor talking about, Max.
And that pressure is already adding up. According to the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, the blockade itself could cost Iran $435 million a day. That's from lost export revenue, mainly from oil, along with disrupted imports. That works out to roughly $13 billion a month. Joining me now is the man behind that analysis, Miad Maleki, who joins us now. Miad, thanks for being with us here today. So that kind of money, $435 million a day, tell me the impact on Iran.
Thanks for having me. So the impact, as a matter of fact, has started already. By closing the Strait of Hormuz, they have started putting that pressure on themselves. Listen, I think Iran's economy is the most vulnerable economy to Iranians organizing street protests, and then they're going to have to face another round of protests. So the internet is down.
Broken through since the start of the U.S. blockade on Monday. Here's the president speaking to Maria Bartiromo.
Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country. And we're not finished. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal very badly. If you told me that we were going to be at only $92 a barrel, $92 a barrel, I would have been very surprised. Gasoline's coming down very soon and very big.
So you think gas prices will be lower before the midterm elections?
I think they'll be much lower before midterm, much lower.
Meanwhile, the Democrats are still
Hopefully.
doubling down on their desire to see Iran win this conflict. Virginia Senator Mark Warner is now suggesting that America's the bad guy here.
In so many ways, 46 days in, America is less strong, and the Iranian regime, which is, by the way, more radical than it was before, can, on some level of truth, say, we just took on America and Israel and fought them to a tie, although maybe even more than a tie. Looking at how we are viewed around the world, we have spent 75 years trying to say, with all our flaws, and God knows we've got a lot of flaws, we were the good guys. We don't have that claim anymore.
A lot of Iranian talking points proliferating, Jesse.
The United States has never been stronger, and I've never been more proud of the Navy. We came in, they said there was a quagmire. They said we had no strategy in the street, and we took 2 missile-guided destroyers and sailed them right up the gut, right down the middle, miles off the coastline, and Iran didn't do anything. They said they were going to do something. They did nothing. They sent 1 drone. We knocked it out of the sky. Right now, we're doing some demining operations.
Chad, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think America is in control of this situation? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is America in control of this situation? Chad, we're 32 likes away from the next like goal. Go to the 3 dots at the top. Make sure you had a like button hit.
And guess how many mines we found, Kaylee? 0. The Iranians were bluffing. So we're going to continue the demining operations to create a little safe passageway for these other foreign tankers. And once that's over, we do a few escorts and we hand it off to the NATO navies. Iran is closed for business completely. They can't sell anything to anybody else. They can't buy anything from anybody else. And if you notice, there's not a lot of stuff built in Iran. Okay? So especially after we bombed all their steel and petrochemicals, they're done. They're going to lose about $500 million a day. All their oil wells are going to probably blow up in about 3 weeks. They can't store it. And China can't suck up all that cheap sanctioned oil anymore. And sooner or later, Xi Jinping is going to call the gay Ayatollah and say, no mas. And that's what you see happening here. And right now we have 3 aircraft carriers about to be in the region. 10,000 more Marines who can either do boarding, seize card, coastal assaults if they get cute in negotiations. And negotiations are pretty simple now. The only leverage they have once they lost the strait is uranium. And it's buried under the rubble. We're keeping a close eye on it, and they haven't moved it yet. So the market loves the blockade. We've already recovered all the losses.
All right, chat. I told y'all yesterday that Russia has reported that they will take the uranium. Russia has agreed that if the United States allows them and Iran allows them, that as part of the peace deal, they will take the enriched uranium. They will move it out of the country and into Russia. Do you agree with that, chat? Should Russia control the Iran's uranium? Should Russia control Iran's uranium? Yes or no, chat?
Since the start of the war, the S&P just hit an all-time high today. Oil futures are in the 80s for June delivery, and gas here at the pump is down from last week's highs. I'm sure it'll go much lower. I'm not saying this thing's over. But this does look like, and anything can happen, that Trump is about to stick the landing, and we'll just pray it happens.
You know, and Dana, you did have Caroline Levitt today say nothing is official until you hear it from us, but we feel good about the prospects of a deal.
Well, I think that the economic pressure, obviously, it's just like here, right? What people think about their pocketbook. And so that's true of the Iranian regime as well.
You said, why would Iran agree to that? Because they'll still get to control the Strait of Hormuz. They said that they'll still get to put the toll on the Strait of Hormuz, which they didn't have in place before. They also said that they would commit to no nuclear activity for the next 5 years. Reports have came out that they may even go up to the next 20 years. If Russia does control it, Russia and Iran have pretty good relations right now with the intelligence sharing and the weapons. They're saying that Russia's trying to send weapons over there. So it wouldn't be just a totally bad deal for Iran.
So because they don't care about their people. The people were basically had no money. They were starving. And the Iranian regime said, oh, how about we give you $7 more a month? And the people said, heck no. And then when they protested, then we know the rest of the story, unfortunately for them. But this actually hurts the regime. Because then, as Jesse was saying, if you're losing $500 million a day, like you can't operate, and that can't take it doesn't take very long to hurt a regime in that case. I do hope that if they decide to meet, that it's not meeting just to meet.
Scared to death of each other. If one of them...
All right, chat, let's get off of this, man. I believe Candace did an episode today talking about Erica Kirk and JD Vance. Did anybody see the JD Vance TPUSA rally? Did anybody see the JD Vance rally? They said it was nobody in there. They said nobody was in there, chat. They didn't sell any tickets. They said Erica Kirk backed out because they didn't sell any damn tickets. Is the TPUSA train over with, chat? Or are y'all still saying we are Charlie? Is the TPUSA train over with, chat?
All right, you guys. Shabbat shalom.
The hell is she talking about?
18th hour, because the announcement was made by none other than Andrew Colvett on stage. This means that ticket holders were not informed until the very moment of the event. Actually, the Turning Point leaders who put together the event were not informed that she was not going to be there. How do we know? Because...
Okay, chat. Did Candace Owens single-handedly destroy TPUSA? All right. Did Candace... We ain't going to say single-handedly. But did Candace Owens destroy TPUSA? Did Candace Owens end TPUSA?
They were posting and promoting her appearance just 50 minutes before doors opened. Here is a video of the TPUSA staff promoting her. Take a listen.
Hey everybody, my name is Grant Tyler. I'm the field representative for the Peach Territory and also the University of Georgia.
And I'm Caroline, and I'm the University of Georgia chapter president.
And we are here at the Aikens Ford Arena about to host JD Vance and Erica Kirk.
Doors open at 1:50, so come out and support your country.
We'll see you there.
They look sweet and happy and clearly not informed of what was going on. So if the story that they are going to sell to us, that there's a...
For some reason, chat, I think all of that shit should be free. Like if Vance is coming, Erica Kirk's coming, it's TPU, I think all of that shit should be free. Like, aren't they a nonprofit? Don't they get like I believe all of that shit should be free. Like, why are they paying to go ask them questions and see them?
A threat, then we have to assume Erica was on the ground, right? On the ground in Georgia, something happened and she pulled out, but she wasn't. She was back home, which means that decision had to have already been made long before those students made that video. Yet Andrew Colvett is going to, as you are about to see, last minute on stage inform and surprise even the event planners with this message. Take a listen.
Amber, I'm here to tell you, with Erica, without Erica, JD Vance's presidential bid is cooked. It's over before it started, man. It's cooked. The Republicans have started a whole campaign called Never Vance. Never Vance is a hashtag. It's Republicans started. It's trending. He's cooked. Erica, no Erica, he's cooked.
For those of you wondering why I don't have really flowing, long, blonde hair right now, so I'm going to address it right at the front. Mr. Vice President, I'm on stage here instead of our friend Erica Kirk. That's right. Because unfortunately, she...
Arnold gotta be trolling. You said you pay tithes when you go to church, so what's the difference? This is not fucking church. And if it was church, this is not the home church. What the fuck you mean? You pay tithes when you go to church, so what's the difference? This is JD Vance. fuck am I paying tithes to JD Vance for?
She has received some very serious threats
At the University of Georgia. The hell am I paying tithes to JD Vance for at the University of Georgia?
in her direction, which is terrible. It's a terrible reflection on the state of reality and the state of the country. But it underscores a larger point that she has received a lot of attacks from surprising places, perhaps. Tell us what you think about that. Some of the people that have made, part-time jobs out of attacking Erica, and this is the net result.
Oh my! Is the implication here that it's our fault? Is it my fault? Why do I feel like they're talking about me? Is that weird? She's not here, and come on, Veep. Come on, explain to everybody how it.
You said your car can be a church building, for Christ's sakes, y'all. You missing the message. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. That went right over your head. You missed the whole point. The whole point is you saying you pay tithes when you go to church. This is not church. This is JD Vance answering questions about Israel and the Iran war. Why are we even trying to make it seem like this shit is church? Why are we even trying to make it seem? Matt, speaking of church, didn't JD Vance tell the Pope to get his shit together? And be careful when he has opinions on theology? And y'all want me to pay tithes? I guess he done called out the Pope. Now y'all want me to pay tithes to the nigga. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
It's actually Candace Owens' fault because she's being attacked, more broadly speaking. What do I have to do with her going to an event? And by the way, this is weird, but I told you guys I'm aging. I am so old that I distinctly remember when the messaging was the exact opposite. They were sort of gaslighting us the other way. Remember, right after Charlie was assassinated, a lot of people were like, look, she's doing a lot. She's kind of just like doing a lot. Like, I would be pretty scared. Most of us, even people who didn't know Charlie, were scared to go out their door. The world felt less safe, but his wife was just fearlessly trotting through all of these events, attending, speaking, massive, sold out 21,000 spillover crowd at State Farm Stadium. And the PR machine was like, oh, you notice that she's doing a lot. Well, let us explain to you why she has no fear. Let me explain to you why she's abnormal. She just sits above you all. In fact, Erica Kirk herself jumped in, and this was the reason that we were given via her interview with Jesse Waters. Take a listen.
Do you feel safe?
I do. What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets. Like, here I am confined. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done. And I can't help run alongside this mission of Turning Point USA.
It's crazy because I'm sitting here thinking, like, not many other people could have said that. Like just think, like, right now, chat, if someone from the Middle East would have said that. Like, are you scared? No, what are they going to threaten me with? What are they going to threaten me with? A good time?
And raise my babies with fear. I can't. That's not a life to live for anybody.
So that was in her godlier than thou era, right? When we had, like I said, normal concerns, like, hey, wouldn't you be kind of scared for your kids? You're doing a lot, right? No, Erica is on fire for the Lord, and that's why you don't understand it. It's supernatural because the Lord is giving her this courage. So I'm just asking the common sense question, what changed 7 months on? What was the threat that Erica endured that was so severe 7 months later that she had to last minute?
Nah, I'm just going to be honest with you, Candace. Now, Candace, let's be honest now. You know what the fuck happened. You know what the fuck happened in this last 7 months, man. We've seen the borderline fake crime. We've seen people have been pulling the reports of the factory that blew up. People have done the damn energy analysis to show where they explode. You know what's changed, man. A lot of fucking YouTube sleuths have been doing digging, man. That's what's changed, man. You just seen Sneeko got his fucking tooth knocked out yesterday, man.
Cancel an event with the number 2 man of this great nation. What threat could be so severe that she didn't even
Now, that's what's crazy. It's like, how the fuck is it not safe for you, but it's safe for JD Vance? Like, we talking about you have an event booked with JD Vance. The second most protected, outside of Trump, the second most protected motherfucker in this country. He's also probably the second most hated right now.
trust that the Secret Service, right, the nation's Secret Service, to the vice president, he just got back doing negotiations with Iran overseas. It has got to be a pretty good Secret Service. She did not feel that even they could alleviate it. Well, we can always rely on Andrew Colbert to further illuminate matters on Fox News. Take a listen.
It was a really unfortunate experience for me, too, just to have to watch that very difficult decision get made, which I think is the first time that we've ever had to make that decision in Turning Point history. But everything that happened with Charlie, obviously, his assassination, we're still, grieving that. And you saw what happened with Savannah Hernandez, one of our TPUSA Frontlines reporters in Minneapolis. And to see the security team, tell us, we cannot guarantee your safety.
You said give Palestine back to who? Where? They damn near eradicated everything, man. Shit's gone, man. South Lebanon's gone, man. What are we talking about here, man? Chad, they're talking about putting a damn soccer stadium up over there. Talking about give it, man. They got plans for that shit, man. They got Trump Gaza going up over there. Man, golden statues and FIFA World Cups and shit going on, man. You talking, what?
Safety, we recommend that you don't do this, was a really chilling moment for all of us to kind of have to internalize and experience and realize that Erica Kirk is, her children are one parent away from being orphans. And sometimes you just have to say, listen.
You said Gaza is ours. Now, who is ours? Trump said he was supposed to own the Gaza Strip. It ain't shit going up. Man, listen, that's Netanyahu shit. Man, what are you talking about? We own it. Who is we? I'm American. Who is we? Netanyahu got that shit, man. It's Netanyahu shit now, man. They eradicated it, man. Changed the whole land, Chad. I'm talking about you see buildings and shit, then they got the little thing, they go, shh, the whole color, the color of the land changes and everything, man. Shit's gone. Not a fucking building in sight.
Right now, what's most important is your safety, is your security, and your children, your family. Let your team handle this. Let us do what we can do. And so, I obviously was horrified at the reason why, but I was honored to stand in and pinch hit for Erica last night. And I was grateful for the vice president to, that we didn't have to ultimately cancel the entire event. He was willing to do it with me, and it was very gracious of him.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just getting whiplash. I feel like that's what we were saying. Like, what could be more important than being home with your children when she was just all on the book tour and Shabbat? And we were just told, no, she's a brave soul. This is what she wants to do. And the worst thing was she would be reunited with Charlie. And now it's so bad that it's requiring a level.
So, Chad, I want an honest opinion. How do y'all feel about the Senate Republicans allowing, I believe, 3 years of TPS status to the Haitians? How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that? Let me see. TPS Haitians 2026. Yeah, it's supposed to expire on It was supposed to expire on February 3rd, but 6 Republicans today voted with the Democrats to extend TPS for Haitians. How do y'all feel about that, chat? Agree or disagree with the TPS status for Haitians?
Level of Hasbro, right? They're even going to bring in their Hasbro friends over at the Daily Wire to further substantiate the matter, because people are going, this feels weird. What could be so much of a threat that they just let the VP, Vice President of the United States, carry on with the event? The people are noticing this doesn't sound right to us. And so since Charlie's passing, the Daily Wire, you will note, always has the inside scoop on what's going on with Erica Kirk for some reason. And here's what they said on Twitter. They said, regarding the threats to Erica Kirk that prevented her from attending today's events with Vice President Vance, a TPUSA official tells me that their security had been monitoring.
Chat, didn't they just kidnap some streamers in Haiti, chat? Hold on, let me reset my camera. Didn't they kidnap some streamers in Haiti, chat? Like last year, didn't he get kidnapped? Like 2 of them. Didn't 2 streamers get kidnapped last year over there? A Texan?
The situation in the days leading up to today's event. People were doxing her travel location and trying to track her arrival and departure, I'm told. And there were multiple direct threats against Erica specifically. This ultimately led to her security's assessment that they could not guarantee her safety. The event venue itself was fine, especially once VP was on site, but it was the...
Hey, chat, I need everyone to hit the like button right now. It's no way we're not at 200 likes. Go to the top, hit the 3 dots, make sure you've liked the video. Also, we're 20 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Subscribe to the channel.
Travel portion that was the chief concern, the official tells the Daily Wire. Her children are one parent away from being orphans, and so we take the security's assessments and advice seriously.
It is not 10:30 in Texas. It's damn near 1 in the morning in Texas. What are you talking about, Amber?
Okay, so a couple things right off the bat wrong with that. Erica now worried about her kids. Yeah. Okay. This feels like a level of propaganda that they have not hit before. You're also telling us now, because you're realizing they're always responding when the public doesn't accept the first sloppy meal that they try to feed us. They're like, oh, okay, no, you're right. It doesn't make sense that the VP would be able to attend this event and Erica would not. So let's switch gears. We'll say it was related to travel, that people were tracking her plane. Okay, people had been actually tracking Erica's plane since the very beginning. People were doing entire shows about where she was going and how much she was traveling and how ridiculous it was, and she never canceled a single thing. So that's just on its face not true. Secondly, if you're going to be a person who is a public figure and you are going to travel privately, as she does, then yeah, people are going to be able to easily guess which airports you're going to, which private terminals you're going to fly into. They're not going to know which FBO, but you're telling me, what is the threat? What could possibly be the threat to her travel? She flies in and she flies out on a private plane that they just could not alleviate it. What did they threaten? We're going to be at the FBO. We'll be at every FBO. We'll be at Signature. We're going to be at Atlantic. We will be there and we are going to boo you. What is the threat? Tell us more about this threat, which was specifically taking place with doxing her travel schedule. What does that even mean? Her event is listed publicly. People buy tickets, or I guess not buy tickets, but they register their tickets to go to these events for free. So you're doxing yourself in order to be a public figure that goes on a tour, right? If you're a singer, a songwriter, you got to say where you're going. You're doxing yourself, but someone's tracking your plane. Well, what is the concern there? That could not be alleviated. You couldn't have somebody on the ground just waiting there to make sure nobody was inside the private terminal, by the way. This woman does not fly publicly. Yeah, like I said, it had to have been something bad. I'm not buying this plane tracking excuse. It seems to me, especially they're mentioning the kids now. Every time they do that, they're basically using every tool that is not even available in Erica's emotional shed. So what actually happened? Let me back up here and give you some facts about the University of Georgia. There are over 43,000 students that are enrolled at the University of Georgia. This event was, as you heard him say, scheduled to take place at the Aikens Ford Arena at the Classic Center, which is near the University of Georgia. The stadium holds just 7,000 people. So they were hoping, with an announcement that the vice president of the United States was going to be attending, that it was a guarantee that they would be able to peel off something like 15% of the student body to attend. But actually, they needed even less than that, because to make matters easier for them, they also opened the tickets, the free tickets, to the general public. So forget having to get 15% of the student body to sign up. They just needed generally 7,000 people in the area that wanted to support MAGA and or the rock star widow, Erica Kirk. Reality, nobody wanted to attend. The ticket numbers were abysmal. That is what happens, and I want you to know that that is what has been happening. So in the umpteenth hour, they decided to cancel her appearance, and here is the evidence of what that event looked like. Here's a tweet with an accompanying clip, which was taken from reporter Jake Traylor, who is a reporter with MS Now. Take a look at this tweet and the accompanying video of the auditorium. He wrote, "Turning Point USA seems to have misestimated crowd size for Vance. The Aikens Ford Arena less than 25% filled for the vice president." Now, he's assuming it's because of Vance, right? That people are not showing. Could be another reason. A person who was supposed to be there until the umpteenth hour, people could be turning down that particular opportunity. And I'm sure everything Vance and Trump are doing at this current moment isn't helping much either. In fact, it was so bad, right? The turnout was so bad that if we go back and re-watch that Fox News clip, they're actually showing you fake footage. Well, it's not fake footage, it's real footage, but it's fake B-roll because it's from old Turning Point events. This is how sloppy the Hasbro is. We'll show you this. We'll scroll here. Not the venue. Not the venue. And yet in the corner, it says Andrew Colvett via X on Tuesday, because it says Athens, Georgia. This is not true. This is true propaganda. And we took a closer look at it, and they actually spliced together 3 separate events so that they could show something of substance when Andrew spoke. That is humiliating. That is humiliating. And he's there pitching a story, a sad story about why they couldn't do it because it's your guys' fault. You didn't keep Erica safe. Now, I am told by Turning Point USA college students and volunteers that this has been a repeat problem, that they similarly had a very hard time moving tickets for.
Chat, why do you think the event was empty? Do you think the event was empty because of Erica Kirk or because of JD Vance? Or is everyone just over Turning Point? Erica Kirk, JD Vance, or is everyone just over it, chat? We're 25 likes away from the next like goal. Everyone hit the like button right now.
For her event in Washington, D.C. with Caroline Leavitt, they just could not hit capacity. They never did, despite effectively turning these events. They're not, I don't even know why it's called a college tour anymore. It's just anybody in the public, general admission, that is willing to come listen to Erica Kirk speak for free, please come. They're going to eventually start paying people to attend these events, and they cannot sell out even a small auditorium. And yesterday, it looks like, was the worst audience turnout in
That's crazy. She's saying they can't sell out an auditorium, but they're calling it free. How do you sell out some free shit?
Turning Point's history. Okay, let me repeat that. Under Erica Kirk's stewardship, Turning Point USA is now facing a crisis. It is the worst turnout in the organization's history, even with a feature alongside the Vice President of the United States. Similarly, they had to move the Believers Summit, something that they advertised for last year. It was slated to take place back in October, but they could not move any free tickets. Erica knew that she was not coming long before Andrew Colvett made the announcement on stage. Yet, she did not make a statement herself until after the event began. What gives? Here's what she wrote on X. She retweeted a clip from the event, and she wrote this. "I was so looking forward to tonight's event at the University of Georgia with our vice president, but after all our family has been through, I take my security team's recommendations extremely seriously. Thank you to our amazing Georgia chapter for your support. God bless you all." I can't stand the lying, the constant lying, and she is not being honest Okay, she moves things off of her calendar. She will make it work. White House here over the weekend. She was at.
You said she went to a Boosie concert. Boosie and Vlad into it about a $5,000 pay increase, chat. Boosie and Vlad are into it about $5,000, man. They not doing any more business together. No more interviews from Boosie and Vlad over a $5,000 pay increase.
At Bettina at Mar-a-Lago, the one who's marrying Don Trump Jr., she was at her bridal shower. Erica will be wherever it is that she needs to be. That is not the reason that she chose not to show up. And how do we know that this was not some last-minute cancellation related to a threat? Well, first off, common sense. I knew they were lying as soon as Andrew announced it on stage. Take it from someone who has endured a great many threats. The last thing you do is announce a threat on stage when one is happening. In fact, I have dealt with threats at Turning Point USA events where we have had to inform them.
Tony says she pretty, Lala. She definitely my type. You like that that good perm, man, that flat iron, man. You like that flat iron, look conservative, well spoken. This my first time seeing Candace Owens with the white fingernails though, man. Most times she have her shit like a dark color, like maroon, something subtle, man. Know what you talking about, Tony.
This guy who was completely insane and escaped a mental institution, or he was a mental hold, and they didn't know where he was. They alerted us, and I was doing an event in Nashville with Charlie. We had to alert the security team. Nobody goes out and...
Nah, Candace ain't my type, man. We'll be getting into it, man. Candace ain't my type. We'll be done got into it, man. I ain't gonna lie. Me and Candace will fuck around, get in a full-blown debate, man, and I won't even get none that night. Straight up, man, because straight up, she would get ready to lay down and shit. Well, what do you think about this? I speak my damn mind. She speaks her damn mind. Next thing you know, we 2.5, 3 hours later, man. We gotta go to sleep. Ain't nobody getting no ass, man. It's over with.
And says, hey, Candace has a threat. That's why she's not here. And you know what? Would you like to, JD? Let me give you the stage to blame everybody for her having this threat. That is so performative and outlandish that I instantly knew that it didn't pass the sniff test. But another way that we can confirm that we know this is not real and they're making this up is because Erica was also slated to speak yesterday at 1:30 p.m. in Georgia.
Hey, that boy Kyle said, who are you? No one knows you. Chat, let Kyle know who the fuck I am, man. Kyle, who knows you, Kyle? Nobody knows me. Kyle, I've been doing this shit alone. I was popular when I was born, Kyle. It was a bunch of motherfuckers at the hospital waiting on me. It was a whole family out. What do you mean nobody knows me? Nobody knows you, Kyle.
Georgia at a local high school. But she canceled that event, and she didn't cancel it last second. She canceled it the day before on Monday. Okay? So Tuesday, yesterday, she has a 1:30 event, and then she has an evening event with JD Vance. But on Monday at noon, she had already informed the high school that she was not going to be in attendance a full day before her last minute on-stage cancellation of her event with JD that the students did not even know about. So she honored the high school students with information, but did not honor the college students with any information, making them look like fools outside, okay? And how did they do?
You said, do I think Candace's downstairs look like an Arby's sandwich? Nah. I don't think I think Candace might have let a few people clap, bro, but I don't think Candace is just, roast beef down there. Nah, man. I think Candace probably can count her bodies on 2 hands. I'm not going to say one, because she is famous, but Candace probably can count her body on 2 hands, man.
Do it. They emailed and they texted and informed the parents at school that her appearance had been canceled, and they gave a reason, and that reason was not security. Let's read it together. Here is the text that went out canceling the high school event. It reads, first, you can see they set this event up on March 30th. On Monday, you can see that it reads, parent alert, due to scheduling complications, the optional Turning Point USA high school event scheduled for tomorrow, September 14th, has been canceled. We are sorry for any inconvenience this may have caused and are hopeful for other Turning Point USA opportunities in the future. Okay? A scheduling conflict. A scheduling conflict, not a threat, but a scheduling conflict. Now, if there were a viable threat, wouldn't it have been prudent to inform the administration of a high school?
And Kyle said, don't quit your day job. Long as I keep pissing people like you off, I'm going to do all right, Kyle. I'm going to do it because tonight when you go to sleep, Kyle, I'm going to be on your mind. Soon as you close your eyes, you're going to see a nigga in a do-rag yelling, talking about, fuck you, Kyle. Oh,
even if it was an airplane-related threat, that, oh, it must be, if it's so serious, like someone's going to harm her, you tell the high school, hey, we have a very viable threat right now. We don't want to bring this to you. They were not informed that. They were just told it was a scheduling issue and there was not some significant thing that was pending in the background, which caused her to abandon her previous God's got me philosophy. So, like I said, don't you think her staff would have let the high schoolers know if there was a threat? That would have been the responsible thing to do. I am told the truth is, again, that there was immediate parental backlash already that kept happening because she was announced. And they basically said, okay, if this is an optional event, it then ended up that there was going to be abysmal attendance, meaning nothing that they could record on social media to make it look like she's, got the crowd going crazy. And so it was nothing for her to look forward to. And so she skipped it. This keeps happening. Parents and students are organizing against her for a variety of reasons. Some of them, those reasons that we have laid out on the show, they do not trust her.
Chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of this shit do you think Candace be making up? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of this is made up, completely fabricated?
Her, they do not believe her, and I can provide more proof for you.
Hey, look at this. Tannis says, who's Kyle? I'm asking the same shit, Tannis. Your guess is as good as mine, Tannis. When I read his comment, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. Who the fuck is Kyle? Who the fuck is Kyle? I went to school with a couple guys named Kyle. I know Kyle off South Park, but this guy right here, who the fuck is that?
By way of a parental chat on Facebook that is currently going on right now regarding another event that she has coming up at a high school in Phoenix, right in her backyard, no less. And this is Pinnacle High School. The parents are organizing. Take a look at this chat. This is a parent that posted saying, I am very concerned learning that Erica Kirk is going to be speaking. And then you can see an anonymous member wrote below, as a teacher, I find this highly inappropriate and a safety risk to our students and staff. Also, as a teacher, I know the district may care more about attendance more than anything else. So call your kids out of school and that will send a message. They are basically 36 likes. They are organizing essentially a walkout, a boycott of Erica Kirk. Okay? I haven't reported on this stuff in the past. I've been very aware that this is going on. The reason why I am now laying this out today is because what enrages me so much about the messaging, the setup there by Andrew Colvett.
Boycott Erica Kirk for what? I'm just saying, chat, like, bro, like, this is Erica Kirk, man, like, but boycott Erica Kirk for what? Like, just stop fucking paying her any mind, man. Like, let the shit just go away. Like, just let her go away. You know what I'm saying? Boycotting her, just let her go away, bro.
Is that it is akin to narcissistic abuse. They can never admit that they have failed or that they have done anything wrong. So what do? They tell the public that it's our fault. It's your fault. This wouldn't happen. This wouldn't happen if you guys...
What I'm saying is boycott, listen, boycotting Erica Kirk is like, what the fuck is she selling, man? Like, we can boycott Target. We can boycott, you know what I'm saying, fucking McAllister's or Arby's or something. What the fuck are we boycotting Erica Kirk? What are we gonna do? I wouldn't buy shit from her, no way. What are you talking about?
Would just stop criticizing her. That's completely psychopathic. We don't accept that. We reject that. Okay, no one does this. People cancel events last minute for a variety of reasons. He got drunk last night. He's hungover. Their PR comes out, makes an excuse. He had a mental breakdown backstage. We've seen a lot, especially in the land of rock and roll. Oh, I lost my throat. I lost my voice. I won't be able to sing tonight. Probably was partying. I want you to actually go through your mind of all the famous people that you know who have canceled events last minute. When do you ever recall management coming out with messaging that implies that actually it's your fault? It's the public's fault. You didn't keep this person safe. They couldn't come out tonight because you failed this person. Well, that's exactly what the messaging was, and you should be infuriated about it. It is ridiculous. They are now paying influencers. Oh, if only everyone would just leave her alone. No one would track her plane. What? Do you not think people are...
Hey, Chad, I'm not gonna lie, man. Candace probably make a crazy peach cobbler, bro. I'm not gonna lie. With the shirt, man, it's the shirt, the little pilgrim shirt, man. She probably make a fire peach cobbler, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Tracking J.D. Vance's plane. Elon Musk took his notoriously off of something. Taylor Swift. People get their planes tracked all the time. By the way, there's no remedy for that situation. What's the future remedy? We're just not going to announce when we're just going to pop up and surprise people. The messaging was crappy. I am so sick of there never being an adult in the room that will just come out and say, as a leader would, you know what? Ticket attendance wasn't great. We want to remedy that in the future. We want to figure out what we can do, changes we can make so that we can establish Erica as the new leader of Turning Point USA.
Yeah, Chad, that is a pilgrim shirt. Chad, all right, so listen, Chad, I don't remember what grade I was in. It was like first grade or second grade. You know how they do the Thanksgiving, where they do the pilgrims and Indians, you know, for Thanksgiving, and like they dress half the class up as pilgrims, they dress the other half of the class up as Indians, Chad. Man, they dressed me up as a pilgrim, Chad. I fucking cried, bro. Like, I was so mad. Like, I had my fist balled up. Like, I was mad as fuck to be a pilgrim, Chad. I'm talking about, it was because the hat, bro. It was like, I didn't want to wear that little hat and the little damn vest and shit, man. That shit was lame, bro. Like, I was pissed they tried to make me a pilgrim, bro. Everybody else had the Indian feathers all colorful and shit, looking all tribal and cool, man. They got me sitting in this bitch with a square block-ass construction paper hat, man. This construction paper joint, Chad, with the little construction paper. Man, I was mad as a motherfucker.
You know, they're still getting to know her. That's responsible messaging. But these guys, it's your fault. And
you said, bruh, nobody know what you talk about. Y'all not from the South then. That's what we did in the South. See, you didn't have, you know, good experiences and shit. See, we got embarrassed early and often in the South, man. You had to do some shit you didn't want to do. You talking about nobody knows it. Chat, if y'all had the Pilgrims and Indians when y'all was in kindergarten or elementary, press 1. If y'all had to dress up as Pilgrims and Indians, chat. Who all in here had to dress up as Pilgrims and Indians, man? Man, I had to, man, they made me a pilgrim, man. I was mad as a motherfucker, man.
Shame on J.D. Vance for taking the bait on that. In response to Andrew Colvette's questioning, he's going to lecture us. He's going to come in and he's going to lecture us. Take a listen to what J.D. Vance has to say.
Again, if your instinct is to go after not the left-wing radicals who are assaulting Savannah, or not the people who shot Charlie Kirk, but if your instinct is to go after a young mother because she's grieving in a way that you find in a...
Oh, that's crazy. George said I was the turkey. Nah, I'm okay, it could have got worse. I thought the pilgrim was what, you was the turkey, Nick? The turkey? The turkey? Ah, yeah, bro. I wouldn't have accepted the turkey, bro. Only reason I accepted the pilgrim is because it was the pilgrim where I couldn't participate, man. I wouldn't have accepted that turkey, bro. I would have had to sit out, bro. It's over with, man.
You find wrong, well, why don't you stay in your lane and mind your own business?
Yeah, amen.
Grief is complicated, and
Grief is complicated.
And so there's another angle of this, Andrew, which is just so absurd, which is that, you know, people will say that, you know, Erica, you know, she's been doing this or she's been doing that, and I would be doing something different. And it's like, first of all,
you said everyone wanted to be the turkey. Not where I'm from. I don't know what kind of, man. Listen, chat. When I was coming up, I was a kid. I had some fucking common sense. I knew I didn't want to be a fucking turkey. I knew I didn't want to be a pilgrim. Man, come on, chat. Like, let's be real, chat. I didn't see any fucking black pilgrims, man. I knew what was going on, man. Like, straight up, chat. Like, I knew what was going on. I knew I didn't want to be a turkey or no damn pilgrim, bro. Shit didn't look cool, man.
that's fine. Like, if you want to criticize somebody because you have a disagreement, disagree with my politics, disagree with something that Erica or Andrew say on the Turning Point podcast.
We do.
But this desire to go after her for the way she's grieving her husband, that's the most preposterous thing I've seen in a very long time, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in politics.
Okay, first off, we do criticize them all the time for what they say on the podcast. The whole public has been doing that actually since everything happened. Please stop saying this repeat phrase that everyone grieves differently. It doesn't matter how many times you say it, it doesn't make it true. Okay, you can't just say stuff. Everybody grieves differently. Yeah, no, for sure. Everyone that I know does this. No one. That's why it stands out to people. And people go, this is strange. Most people would fear going out. They would want to be closer to their kids. Stop trying to constantly feed us this slop. But the audacity to say something like he just said that it was the most preposterous thing that he has seen in politics in a very long time. People criticizing Erica Kirk. That's the most preposterous thing he's seen in politics in a very long time. Disagreeing with the new CEO and chairman. This is not just a widow. This is the new CEO and chairman of TPUSA, a position that she did not earn. Nothing that she has done warrants her being in that position. And that to him is like, whoa, I can't believe people are doing this. I've seen some preposterous things just over the last few weeks in politics that should probably rank higher on your list, okay? Like when you guys blew up that school. 150 Iranian schoolgirls were killed, and then you lied about it. That, to me, feels a little more preposterous. I mean, it was not just even 2 days ago that Trump said that he thought Jesus was a red cross.
Yeah, no, I don't think she making green bean casserole. Yeah, it's the pilgrim shirt, man. That's, bro, listen, chat. That's probably like an $11 slice of that peach cobbler right there, chat. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Candace, right now, man, if Candace made a post talking about she got $15 peach cobbler plates, man, I might be trying to grab one, bro. Like, look at that pilgrim outfit, man. That peach cobbler with that scoop of ice cream next to it, man. $15, man. I'm telling you, chat.
Cross doctor. That was a little preposterous. Y'all, you're just out here lying about things. I don't know. The Epstein files? Did you have time to go through that, Mr. Vice President? Nothing in there ranked more preposterous for you than us criticizing Erica Kirk? How about Trump just generally attacking a pope?
Hey, this is the thing right here. This how you know they be bots, man. Motherfucker come here. Scott776, man, 1776 says, why are you bashing Trump? Man, we ain't talked about Trump in a fucking hour almost, bro. Where have you been? What are you talking about, Scott? You need to skip the live or something, man, or we gonna believe you a bot, man. Straight up, man. Sometimes, chat, when my viewership just jumps and shit real crazy, I get to think of y'all bots and shit, man. Then you come in here talking all out of turn and out of context and shit. What's going on, man?
Because he's calling for peace. How about Trump saying that Brigitte Macron is hot? That was pretty preposterous. That she's got it. It's not even close. The literal ticket you guys ran on was calling for peace. Now you're attacking the Pope, or Trump is attacking the Pope because he's calling for peace. That feels pretty preposterous. Going to war with...
All right, Scott. No, we ain't talked about Trump in like an hour, man. Welcome in, though, Scott. Everyone hit the like button, chat. We're 25 likes away from the next like goal, man. Let's get to 25 likes right quick. Go to the 3 dots at the top and make sure you have liked the video.
The explicit aim of opening the Strait of Hormuz, which was already opened before you began the war, is pretty preposterous. Gas prices right now are pretty preposterous. Us criticizing a grieving widow who can't keep her story straight about anything? No, that shouldn't even hit your radar. So please do not lecture us, JD. Do not, okay? The lecture that is coming from you is exactly why we don't like Erica, because we see it for exactly what it is. It's elite. She has money and connect.
You talking about that shirt probably smell like, man, Candace probably smell like Vera Wang, man. Candace probably smell like a little Tom Ford, little Vera Wang or something, man. You know what I'm saying? Candace probably wears Gianni beanie slippers around the house, man. Let's be honest, man. They having their way over there, man.
She can call Vice President J.D. Vance. She can get the Secretary Scott Bessent to issue a letter on demand, demanding you stop looking into their finances. She can get Trump to say how much Charlie loved her in his Easter speech. It's the balcony approach that makes us sick. We feel it. You guys looking down in the crowd like we're animals and you're somehow more dignified. Okay, Mr. Vice President, respectfully, our friends aren't in the Epstein files. And I have enough common sense to know that the reason we refer to it as common sense is because it's shared amongst the commoners, us, the majority. And right now, the left and the right, the internet, we have correctly identified the nature of your friend, Erica Kirk. So please, I beg of you, we are 7 months into this thing. Please do not give us more Fed slap. We have had our fill. And if it is truly your desire to transform hearts and minds about Erica, might I very humbly suggest that you start with a story that makes sense about September 10th. What happened? One that doesn't feature magical bullets and Superman necks and trannies that write out entire confessions in the spirit of a Jane Austen novel, my love. One which doesn't feature company employees who witnessed the shooting and for some incomprehensible reason neglect to call 911, but instead rush to remove.
Now, Jose, I'm not gonna lie, man. Jose, are you trying to let us know something? Didn't nobody even ask you that? See, that's when I get to thinking folks really be racist, bro. Like, nobody said shit to Jose. He comes out nowhere talking about some, I like black people, or some of them. Who the fuck asked you if you like black people, Jose? Like, are you projecting right now, Jose? Are you trying to let us know something, man? Just say it.
Move cameras within minutes? That would be my advice. Rather than lecturing us from a balcony, string together a coherent story and a timeline for the commoners. Please and thank you. Anyway, moving on from that, on to some other things that are happening behind the scenes. Essentially, Turning Point is now just in the business of creating an illusion. And by an illusion, I mean that even when they are posting events of her being greeted at events with thunderous applause behind the scenes, you should know that middle schoolers and high schoolers are being forced in some scenarios to sit in these events. It's mandatory. Okay, they have no option. So remember when you went to school and there was assembly? When you had to go to assembly in the middle of the day? That is the state of affairs at Turning Point USA. They are the administration. It's an assembly. Surprise, Erica Kirk is here. And they're like, look, the auditorium is filled. Like, I guess to keep it real, if I was in high school, I was really bad at chemistry. If he offered 5 extra points and was like, Candace, you can bring up this really bad grade that you got if you go sit with Erica Kirk in the assembly.
Chad, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't too many assemblies that I got to sit with the rest of the people, man. It wasn't too many of them assemblies, man. The teachers had me sitting. If I wasn't on the stage getting a damn award or something, man, I was tucked next to the teacher, bro. There wasn't too much going on at them assemblies for a young plug, Chad. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I didn't have too much freedom at them assemblies and shit.
Right now, or after school. No, I still wouldn't do it. But I'd think about it. I don't wish them bad. I just wish them truth. I want them all to stop lying about everything and anything and thinking that a J.D. Vance or a sprinkle of Trump is going to change things. Please stop abusing the public with lies. And already, since more things are leaking, Andrew is commuting the story. Right. Yesterday it was, this is happening because of the people back at home. Now he knows stuff is coming out about the high school event that was canceled on Monday, but he's trying to fit it into this puzzle, trying to make it work somehow, that he announced it on stage suddenly, that Erica wouldn't be attending. And here he is on Charlie Kirk's show this morning with their latest excuse that's dropping. Take a listen.
Obviously, the big part of the news was that Erica she canceled her appearance at that because of security threats that were made against her. It was something we were, monitoring for days before the event. We actually had a high school event that was planned to be before the college event in the area that we had to cancel a few days before because of the increased online chatter that we were monitoring. Our security team, I should say, was monitoring. And so we thought, we got the Secret Service, everything should be fine at the main event. But what ended up happening, and I have to be somewhat careful here because our security team does, obviously wants to be a little bit circumspect in the way that we talk about this because we don't want to give the bad guys any more ideas. But it was a situation where they were trying to dox her travel and monitor her travel, suggesting different ways that people could attack her. And it was like something we were actively trying to navigate and change itineraries, move locations.
Nobody wants to live that way. It was a terrible experience in many, many ways, and I feel terrible for Erica. And ultimately, you know, when you're in that moment and the security team looks at you and says, we can't guarantee your safety, at some point you just have to say, we'll do this a different way.
Tough job, Andrew. It's truly a tough job that Andrew Colvett has. I just gotta keep up with the crowd and pivot the stories, try to make it make sense. The plane, there was a threat. You know, we tried to move the FBO and charter a different plane. We don't know the tail number. We don't have a tail number. Over the
Chat, hit the like button.
You guys have multiple planes starting Point USA. Oh, it just was a threat. We just can't tell you too much. We can't tell you, even though we announced it on stage. We know that people are asking for more. We just want to honor the security, and these threats are very serious. And that's why when Charlie multiple times texted me on the security team the day before saying he thought he was going to be killed, we don't like to talk about that. We don't talk about that threat. That threat, we don't want to talk about. This one, we want you to know it's your fault. So don't criticize Erica. Yeah. Emotionally manipulative, narcissistic. I reject this, and you should too. Anyway, we are going to be back after a brief break with an update regarding Pastor Victor Marx. He responded, and it's interesting. We'll be right back. All right, you guys. Pastor Victor Marx, what can I say? He was a difficult subject to cover. A lot of editorial decisions had to be made because there was just so much. There was just so much to choose from. And I want to be clear. The information that we got about his biography, that came from Victor Marx. We could have put together tons of clips. He tells his story many times, many ways, and we just were like, okay, let's try to...
Chat, did y'all see that man in Louisiana? He got convicted of raping an underage person, and he in Louisiana you get castrated. Like you get castrated. You can either get chemical castration or physical castration. He's the first one to pick the physical castration. So they finna cut this nigga's nuts off, right? And I'm sitting here like, we got in Louisiana a guy, 54-year-old, messing with the kid, finna get his nuts cut off. Then we have Trump's former spiritual advisor messed with the kid. And he did 6 months, and he's back walking free, probably rich as hell still. It's like, what's going on, chat? Like, should everybody should all states adopt the castration, chat? Should all states adopt the castration for pedos? Pedos, we'll call it what it is, pedos. Should all states adopt castration for those heinous charges?
Reduce this to the facts about his life, who his father was, who his stepdaddy was, the things that he has said. And we didn't even include the stuff going on with his family, his daughter, very public back forth that went on where she was accusing him of abuse, and there's a lot of that. And then she retracted her statement after they began speaking again. And okay, we were like, okay, we don't need to include that. We didn't include the young woman who alleges that Victor Marx kidnapped her from Canada. She's the people had her on the shows, and she discussed how she was kidnapped. But there was a lot going on with Pastor Victor Marx. I think it is fair to suggest that he has a checkered background, and we have never received more emails and more tips about anyone. Actually, in our tips inbox.
Here you go, somebody. So what? Who cares about ancient laws in Louisiana? Watch him. Y'all watch Dom. Watch Dom, because the nigga just got his nuts cut off, man. He's about to get his nuts cut off. He chose chemical castration. You talking about ancient laws? Motherfuckers getting their nuts cut off now, 2026. Your balls at risk. You get the plan on that pedo shit down there in Louisiana, they gonna cut your nuts off or chemically castrate you, man. Maybe put some acid on your balls and make you take something. I don't know how they do it, man. Talking about ancient laws. Who cares, man? You should care, man. Got a fucking Epstein class running the damn country. No accountability. Nobody's went to jail. They allegedly were eating fucking humans, touching and doing shit to kids, hunting niggas. Nobody goes to jail. Talking about who cares about some ancient laws of Louisiana. Maybe if niggas was getting their nuts cut off, this shit wouldn't be going on.
It was a recurring theme. You need to look into Victor Marks, Victor Marks, Victor Marks. Victor Marks allegedly was the first person who announced that Charlie Kirk had died, and then he deleted that post. I remember that from all of the things that were happening. It was like, why did Victor Marks announce it first? And then he deleted that post. So yeah, I think we did a good job kind of sizing it down to the relevant portions of what these pastors seem to get up to. I don't even know where he pastors. Where is he a pastor at? I think that was one of the points that was raised by Corby Hall. It's like, I realize he doesn't have a church. I don't know why he says he's a pastor. And I don't know why Erica can't make normal friends. None of my friends had these sorts of backgrounds. And they're not the people that I would want to see in the event of an emergency. But like JD said, she be grieving differently, y'all. She be grieving differently. Anyway, so Victor Marks clearly saw my episode very quickly. And he took to both his Instagram and X to issue a very quick response. It's a little weird. I think it's weird. Let me know if you think it's weird. This is what he said. Ooh.
Well, alrighty then. Love you, Candace. Let me know when you want me to come on the show. Praying for you.
Okay, but like, why do the glasses have to come off? Why do we have to go all like Clark Kent about it? Well, alrighty then. Give it to me again. Well, alrighty then. Give it to me one more time. I gotta watch that again.
Well, alrighty then.
Okay, can we had a DJ booth going where we just like get these sounds that we like? That's a bite. That's a bite. Yeah, I just need to have that little, whenever I'm feeling, well, alrighty then. Anyway, I don't know what the point of that was. And he then published, oh, I've been accused, or in this episode, this is what he suggested. Buddy, you can't be accused of what you're telling.
Hey, chat, we're 5 likes away from 300. Let's get to 300 likes right quick. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We go live every single night over here talking politics, current events, and entertainment. Subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to donate, the pinned comment are the donation links, man. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Telling us your bio is now. I read Corby Hall.
Oh, and my damn kid's birthday this weekend, man. Listen, donate to the channel.
Statement in its entirety, fleshed out what he had to say, felt like he was a very honest person. And again, he was ready to come on the show and discuss everything, bring all of his evidence. So my instincts are usually right about people, and my instincts about you were that, I don't know. You had supplements that you were doing with David Harris. David Harris calls God Papa. I don't know. And he, like, you guys said that like proceed, like, the supplements were going to help human sex trafficking victims. It's too much. It's just too much. Okay. My senses, my spidey senses say no good. Anyways, I obviously responded instantly. I wrote this beneath the post. We are
Somebody wants attention so bad. We're not even going to give them attention this time, chat. We're just going to hide them, get them out of here, and continue on.
Actually going to have Corby Hall of Fold AR on, and he is game to do the show with you. I am happy to have you both on. If
I can see you, Dom. I see your comments.
You agree. And Corby Hall said, yeah, I'm good. Let's do this. He actually suggested it, Corby Hall. He said, because he saw the post first, he said, I would 100% do this face-to-face. Like he's very serious about what this man did to him. And like I said, he has all of the evidence. So it wouldn't make sense for me. I couldn't rebut anything that Victor Mark said about Fold AR. We were already going to have Corby. Let's make this happen. And so because I wanted to make sure that we could establish a date, I instantly then reached out privately. I will show you guys that. I wrote, hi, Victor, give me the best number. We would love to set it up. Corby Hall is completely game to join. Best to have him there since I read his letter and he has the proof, etc., of what you wanted from him, plus the prayer that you prayed over him. We have we have it. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that we then were hit with another wave. People emailing us from Turning Point USA, inside and outside. I love this, just so you know. We have people that are saying that they will get jobs at...
Hannibal comes in supporting the super chat. He says, happy B-Day to the youngin'. Thank you, Hannibal, for always supporting the channel. I'll be sure to let them know.
Turning Point USA, just to give us information from the inside. We have people volunteer. They're like, I am going on an interview. I reply, they want me in. I will be a mole. Like, that is how the world feels. They are willing to go to work to get...
You said you could just tell Candace farts smell extra bad. I don't think Candace farts around her husband. Like, Candace is like one of those wives that'll go like 10, 15 years without farting around her husband. Like, she'll excuse herself to the bathroom, don't matter what time of day it is, like real ladylike. Like, I don't think Candace just walking around the house letting it rip, cheeks clapping and shit, man. I think she'll excuse herself.
Get information. It makes me happy and it makes me smile because that is the influence that Charlie Kirk had. Like, that's incredible that people are willing to do that for him. But anyway, people are still on the inside, and people who were fired also informed me that, there's other people that have trafficking history that are involved with Turning Point USA. And in particular, there is someone who openly discusses the fact that he
Nah, chat, like, I'm from the South. Like, I actually know couples. Like, I know couples who have been married, what is it? It's 2026 now. So they've been married 10 plus years, probably, at least 10 plus years. And the wife has never farted around her husband. I know a couple couples like that. Like, that's just something that they don't do. They say it keeps their marriage healthy. It's some things that she doesn't fart around them, man. It's been like 10 years.
used to traffic arms. I'll say allegedly, but this is apparently something he's very open about around the office. He's very close with Andrew Colvett.
Look at Nunya. I haven't farted around mine in 18 years. I'm telling y'all.
That's what I am told by, again, both current and former Turning Point USA employees. His name is Marcus Wada. Okay, here is his bio from Turning Point's website, which is interesting to me already. He's the senior productions director. Marcus Wada is the director of strategy of productions at Turning Point USA. Marcus has spent a decade in film and television production, working on films that were internationally distributed and television shows such as Miss Universe. Okay. That's a connection there. Marcus worked to raise financing for films and producing films. He left Hollywood to work in the conservative movement, producing and directing Turning Point USA's documentary series, Border Battle and the Great Global Reset. Well, apparently he also, which I wouldn't put it in my bio too, to be fair.
You said, so what makes y'all happy? So what keeps a marriage healthy? We don't fart? What the fuck? No. It's more of she still has butterflies for him. She cares about how he thinks. She doesn't want him to see her in that light. From day one all the way 10 years later, that's how much she cares about, like, how he looks at her. She doesn't want him to look at her like, oh, she's... fuck it, let's just say what it is, letting herself go, farting and shit, just burping and all loud and shit. Now, some people don't care about that shit. Some people really care about it. But in their marriage specifically, it just never came to that point. Like, they did the marriage counseling thing before they got married and shit. That's just something she doesn't do. She doesn't fart, burp all loud and shit. She excuses herself. He's never even came in the bathroom while she was taking a shit. Like he doesn't barge in when she's shitting or nothing, bro.
Regularly tells people his testimony about how he was involved in trafficking arms in Poland. Poland, where are you at? I saw you in the chat. Someone said, watching from Poland. And I said, ooh, you guys are getting name dropped today. So yeah, he used to be involved with trafficking in Poland. But then, as the story always goes, he found God. I am just so pleased to hear it. I'm so pleased to hear it, that so many people involved with Turning Point.
You said, bro, I'm tripping. Why am I tripping? That's some real shit. You let off a fart that's too crazy, I might look at you different. Let's just be honest. Do y'all want to be honest or do y'all want to be lying? Unless you're sick, if you're not sick or something, you just sitting here laid up and shit, and you just, come on, man. You could have got the fuck up and went to the bathroom. She's keeping that healthy relationship. She's being conscious, like, hey, I care about how my husband thinks of this shit, so I'm not just gonna fart uncontrollably, you know what I'm saying, and shit,
Are able to find God. Turning Point USA is out here, I guess, just finding employees and partners in a manner that is unique. It is unique, I would say. It's like a mesothelioma commercial. Or you or someone you know involved in trafficking, give us a call today. There may be a place for you in our faith department vibes, right? So then I found out via these employees that Marcus Wada also says that his brother is still involved in the game somehow, in the industry, in some way. Is it charitably? Is there a difference? I can't be sure at this point. Anyway, I did end up finding the guy. I'm prodding that narrative. There seems to be something there. I'm assuming it must be a half brother because he has a different last name, and this guy's is Jewish, and he runs a consulting company that consults in human trafficking. What can I say? It's a big industry, you guys. And I want to be clear: these people are not involved in the trafficking. They are charitable and want to alleviate this global circumstance. And these people also, you know, have histories, but I don't know, guys. I didn't even know you could consult in those things. I thought the website was made up. I was like, what does this mean?
Max Ninja, what you talking about, man? Lala says she went past gas after 21 years of marriage. Man, Max, what are you talking about, Max? Good night, Heather. See you next time, Heather. Thank you. Max, talking about not gonna lie, bladder ain't what it used to be. What you talking about, Max? You can't hold that thing, man. What you talking about, Max? You come on, man. You got plastic on that bed over there. What you mean bladder ain't what it used to be, Max?
Consulting in drugs and look at this industry areas. National border security, money laundering, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and firearms
Good night,
and ammunition. This is brother. Controlled substances. Okay. What does it mean to consult in it? How do you consult in it? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm an old dog that can't learn a new trick. That's my problem. But I am good at spreadsheets. Not so great at Excel, but I know how to put together a timeline and spreadsheets and to organize. You guys should see my pantry. It is ridiculously organized, okay? And I did put together, you guys saw this earlier, the connecting themes spreadsheet because we kept seeing these recurring themes. And I did not use Excel as it should be used, but I did put together these columns, and it's the trafficking and sex abuse. I should write charity to make that clear. It's getting pretty long, you know. Derek and Shalane Maxfield, that was that plane that left and went to Page, Arizona that day. They run a child abuse charity, a trafficking charity, Sapria, Colonel.
They run a child abuse trafficking charity. Like the way that she just said that shit so casual, this fucking
Otto
crazy.
Busher, obviously the Romanian instance with Erica, all surrounding what happened at the military base. And he worked with Romanian Angels, which was her charity. The civilian commander stationed at Fort Huachuca, charged with running a child sex abuse ring, Turning Point USA Faith, Greg Laurie, whose church, Erica went right on tour with him. Harvest Church is currently being accused of trafficking children from Romania. Okay, they are fine with that partnership. George Zinn, our decoy boy, was arrested for having pornographic images of children on his phone. Andrew Piscadlo, that was the person who was detained that day, works to ring the alarm on military Ukrainian sex trafficking in the United States. Calvary Chapel Church is obviously riddled with pastor abuse stories. That's an aside, a Rob McCoy aside. Glenn Beck, Tim Ballard, that's Operation Underground. Tim Ballard, his name came up in the mix early on as someone who was being met with that day. Erica Kirk lived in China, or in the days that follow, rather, if I remember correctly. Erica Kirk says that she lived in China and worked with child sex trafficking victims, but she's mum on that now. Tight-lipped, does not want to talk about what charity that was. No one seems to be able to find it on the internet. We know she was living in, was it Chongqing? Am I saying that right? To Chongqing? I think it's spelled Chongqing. Maybe it said Chongqing. That's interesting. The TPUSA advisor, Paul Vallely, the retired Army general who ran psychological operations and co-wrote the book with Michael Aquino, the Satanist and founder of the Temple of Set. I didn't know Satanism had a great schism, but they did. Some people thought that Satan was an idea. Some people thought that he was a real person. And so the Temple of Set was born out of Satanism. So you guys know, if you're not up on your Satanist theology. Anyways, not a bar for entry as an advisor to Turning Point USA. He was accused, I'm referring to Michael Aquino, was accused of abusing children at Army Child Development Centers. Victor Marks, as we learned.
Yeah, chat. All right, that's enough of that, man. Did y'all see that CNN report? I'm finna pull up this Tucker episode. We'll watch a little bit of this before we get out of here. But did y'all see that CNN that
Donald Trump
CNN
is
piece? Did y'all see the CNN piece where they said the 62 million people were trying to figure out how to get away with grape and assault? Man, it's men on there talking about basically slipping shit in on their wife. It's men on there talking about they slipping pills on their wives and recording them while they're unconscious and shit, man. It's crazy, bro. Like, y'all gotta go look at the investigative report CNN did, bro. That shit's crazy, bro.
Famously irreligious man, just not that interested, basically secular, a product of his time and place. If you doubt that, some of the funniest clips ever of Donald Trump, and this is not a criticism, they're legit funny, are him being interviewed during the 2016 campaign and asked basic questions like, what's your favorite book of the Bible? To which he says, with some confusion, well, the Bible, maybe unaware there are component books to it. So Donald Trump is not someone who traditionally, or ever really, has weighed in on questions of faith or theology.
All right, chat. Do y'all think Trump has ever read the Bible, man, or a large portion of the Bible? Let's just say a chapter. Do y'all think Trump, when was the last time? Let's do that. When was the last time you think Trump read his Bible, chat? I think the last time he touched the Bible was probably when he dropped them Trump Bibles. He might not even got it.
Kind of gives it a pass, sort of smiles. Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. The Bible. But in the space of 1 week, Donald Trump, the same famously irreligious Donald Trump, has weighed in pretty specific ways on matters of faith and theology and religion publicly in ways that are disruptive and sort of hard to understand, but worth trying to understand. So all of this began about 10 days ago on Easter Sunday, early on Easter Sunday, before 9 a.m.
He's not Presbyterian anymore. Trump is not a Christian, man. Trump's not a Christian. He got up there in front of the Christians and said, I'm not a Christian. Christians, I'm not a Christian. He didn't put his hand on the Bible when he swore oath. He said that he will probably not go into heaven, and there's nothing he can do to go to heaven. What are we talking about? He's talking about making 100-foot gold statues in Gaza, idols of himself. What are you talking about? He just did a 3D image of himself portrayed as white Jesus. Talking about he's Presbyterian, man. No, he's not. That man is Donald Trump.
On Easter Sunday, when Trump tweeted that he was planning on destroying civilian infrastructure in Iran. It was going to be bridge and power plant day, basically promising war crimes, crimes against civilians, against the population of the country. And then in that same tweet or truth, he used the F word on Easter Sunday, and then he seemed to make fun of Islam. Praise Allah, he said. So in one short statement of about 110 words, he seemed to give the finger to the world's two largest religions, Christianity and Islam. That was Sunday. And then exactly 1 week later, also on Sunday, the Christian holy day, he attacked the Pope, the leader of the world's largest religion and largest Christian denomination, and attacked him personally and said basically he's only Pope because of me. He's back.
This is what I want to say. How is Trump a new Christian when he's been said he was Christian, then he switched and said he wasn't Christian, then he got up there with Miriam and that other guy, who was that Lindsey Graham, I believe, and said, oh, this is the first Jewish president. And Trump said, that's right, I am. So is he Presbyterian? Is he a New Age Christian? Is he Jew? Is he Kabbalah? Come on, man. Come on, Chad. Are y'all not getting it here? Why the fuck nobody know what this man is? If he was a Christian, it wouldn't be this much debate. Do y'all not get that? If he was a Christian, it would not be this much fucking debate. Excuse me. But it's just honestly, if this man was a Christian, do you think it would be this much debate about what he is?
Bad. The Pope is bad. And then, later that day, maybe most interestingly, bafflingly of all, he sent out this meme. Take a look at this. Now, there are two on the screen. The one on the right is the one that he sent out, and it's himself. It's Donald Trump, President of the United States, dressed as Jesus healing a man. And you can see the healing power coming off of his right hand. Now, the image on the left of your screen is the original image, and it was floating around the internet. Who knows exactly where it came from, but it's been there for quite some time. The one on the right is the one the president.
Now y'all saying he's Catholic. I haven't even heard he was Catholic. Trump just checked the fucking Pope and had J.D. Vance check the Pope. He's not Catholic, man. If Trump was Catholic, he wouldn't have talked crazy to the Pope like that, man.
Sent out, White House Communications Office or whoever does this, sent out, and you'll notice that it's been changed. And the American soldier over the president's head, the president as Jesus' head, has been changed and is now, if you look very carefully, a demon, some kind of winged creature of hell. So it goes from an image that suggests, healing and light to an image that suggests, I don't know, a scene from Revelation, John's vision on the Isle of Patmos, the end times, the apocalypse, who knows? Nothing good. It suggests demonic power because there is a demon in it. So he sent that out and then withdrew it, deleted the tweet from the internet after an outcry, but was asked about it. And he said, yeah, I sent that. Didn't explain how the demon got in there. Someone at the White House put it in, didn't explain why. And he said, I sent it out, but it wasn't me as Jesus, though obviously it is. It was me as a doctor because I heal people. Jesus, of course, basically described himself as a doctor, someone who came for the sick to heal them, which he did. So maybe a distinction without a difference, but still kind of confusing. And then today...
Man, I think it's safe to say don't nobody know what the fuck Trump is. Y'all talking about he's German, Scottish, Catholic, Presbyterian, he's New Age... He admitted that he was a Jew. Trump's every damn thing but black. Man, what are we talking about here, man? Everything's being debated, man. Do y'all not see the problem? Why is it so much discussion? Why is it so much fuck? I mean, dang, chat, like, let's be real.
A day later,
you said, what's wrong with being a Jew? Nothing unless you 10 different other things. You can't be every fucking thing, man. Let's be honest. You can't be Catholic, Presbyterian, a New Age Jew. You can't. What are we talking about? That follows the Kabbalah. You mean to tell me this man is a Scottish, German, Catholic, Presbyterian, New Age Jew that follows the Kabbalah? That's what y'all want me to fucking believe.
Was asked about it again, and he said, no, I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't send it out. Which wasn't exactly an answer to the question. Even more confusing. What was that? And then, to make it even further mysterious, sent out this meme on Truth Social, retweeting somebody else, and it's him, Donald Trump, being, I don't know, how would you describe that? Caressed by? Healed by?
What's up,
maybe
Sonny?
Endorsed by Jesus. That's unmistakably Jesus, the Christian Messiah, the man God at the center of Christianity, with his arm around Donald Trump, basically saying...
You said being Jewish has nothing to do with it. Yes, it does. I have the clip. He said it. Said, this is the first Jewish president. He said, I am. Now, that in itself is not a problem, but it's a problem when he says, I'm Christian. When y'all are trying to say he says I'm Christian, when I heard him say I'm not Christian. Now y'all are talking about he's a cradle Catholic, and now y'all are talking about he's Presbyterian, and then we got him in the Art of the Deal talking about he's in the Kabbalah.
You go Trump. I'm on your side. So all of that in a little over a week.
He said that because Miriam called him that, plug. So you gonna deny your religion because somebody calls you something? You will deny your religion in front of everybody. We're giving him a pass. Oh, it's because Miriam called him that. I wouldn't give a fuck who called him that. If we're gonna say he's a Christian.
What does it mean? Because it certainly means something. This isn't so much a couple of memes. These are icons. This is iconography. These are attempts to send a statement about faith. What statement is the president sending? Well, not a coherent one. Doesn't actually add up to a theology. It's mockery. He's mocking Jesus. He's making fun of Christianity. The central figure of the religion is being held up for mockery, of course. And his description of how this got out is itself mockery of the idea of truth. One day he says, yeah, I did it. Next day he says, no, I didn't do it. Both are on video. That's not really a lie. It's more than a lie. It's bigger than a lie. It's an attack not just on a specific set of facts. It's an attack on the idea that there are facts. It's an attack on truth, openly. No one's hiding this. So this was kind of dismissed.
Y'all wouldn't have let Trump slide if he would have said he was the first Muslim president. Y'all would not have had the same energy. If they would have got up there and been like, Trump's the first Muslim president, and he was like, I am. Got a little quiet in here, chat. I ain't know.
After a online kerfuffle for a few hours and people were outraged and then they weren't, and we've got other things to worry about, they moved on. But for sincere religious people, for Christians who care about Jesus and what's true and what's not, a lot of them went to their Bibles to try and figure out, what are we watching here? And a lot of them came up with a couple of verses that seemed to fit what we're watching. And if you are a sincere Christian or know some, maybe you got these texted to you, but we'll read them just so you know how a lot of people of faith were interpreting this. The first is from Paul's second letter to the Thessalonians, the church of Thessalonica, chapter 2, a very well-known verse in which he's describing what's going to happen when Jesus comes back. And he says, you're going to hear that Jesus is coming back. Don't believe what you hear.
Then I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to be like, look, man, I told y'all. He said praise to Allah. He said praise to Allah. Shit. You didn't know? Y'all will be like, oh, man. It's just different, bro. Like, chat, that's what I don't get, chat. I don't understand it. Like, I really try to, but I just don't understand it, man. It's like y'all don't like y'all dislike the Muslims more than y'all do atheists. That's crazy to me. Y'all dislike the Muslims more than y'all do Satanists. Y'all dislike the Muslims more than y'all do people who pray to the moon and stars. I don't get it.
Here, a bunch of things have to happen before he returns to Earth, redeems the world, history ends. And you'll know that he's coming by these events. And among them will be the rise of a figure he describes as the man of lawlessness, sometimes describes as the Antichrist. But the man of lawlessness is the phrase from his second letter to the Thessalonians. And he says this, there will be a great rebellion against God, led by that man of lawlessness. This man, quote, will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God.
Now look at John. You showing your damn hand, John. Nobody said atheist or Satanist. I said that y'all get more upset with the Muslims than you do atheists. Y'all get more upset with the Muslims than you do Satanists. Y'all get more upset with the Muslims than the people who pray to the moon and stars. Where did I say atheist or Satanist? You just wanted say some shit that you know. Showing your hand. Like, well, the Muslims are, if they don't, nobody said that.
God. He will pose as God. He will mock other gods and put himself in their place. That's from the second letter to the Thessalonians. But that's not the first place in the Bible, Old and New Testaments, where something like this is described. Variations of this are in a number of prophecies in what Christians call the Old Testament, including those contained in the book of Daniel. The prophet Daniel describes something very much like this.
You said atheists aren't blowing up buildings. Well, shit, the Christians, the Jews, the Muslims, and the Satanists are. Might be a few atheists blowing up the buildings. Hell, they probably don't believe in anything. So to say atheists aren't blowing shit up, I don't know if that's true. I think everybody's blowing shit up. I think everybody's blowing shit up.
At the end of history, and he's describing this period, really, as is so often described in the prophets, as punishment. Punishment for faithlessness and sin. God's people are being punished for not following God. And that punishment he describes in part.
And here goes somebody, Purple Cono. Is this really all YouTube short streams are? People watching Tucker Carlson? What the fuck is this? You ain't got to worry about it no more because you up out of here. Everybody tell Purple good night, man. We'll see him in this motherfucker never because he came in this bitch hating, man. The fuck on, Purple, man. Stay for the whole episode. You will see some monologue, a little yelling, a little ranting and shit, man. Off my dick. I can't stand people like
Part in chapter 11 from the book of Daniel predicts the coming of a king, and we're quoting now, a king who will do as he pleases. He will exalt and magnify himself above every god and will say unheard of things against the God of gods. He will be successful until the time of wrath is completed, for what has been determined must take place. It's all ordained, in other words, preordained. He will show no regard for the gods of his ancestors, nor will he regard any god, but will exalt himself above them all. So to a lot of Christians, or people who know the Bible well and believe in it, these predictions in both the Old and the New Testament, and there are others.
All right, chat. I see someone says Trump's breaking my heart right now. A lot of people say Trump's doing the right thing. Chat, rank Trump's first year and a half in office, well, almost year and a half in office this term, 1 through 10. Rate Trump's first, 12 months, January. Rate Trump's first 15 months, chat. 1 through 10, man. Rate Trump's first 15 months, 1 through 10.
Seem to fit what we were watching. Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist? Well, who knows? At least that's my conclusion. Who knows? We're also told repeatedly in the New Testament that you're not going to know, that Jesus will return like a thief in the night, and you better be ready because you can't predict it. But we're also told there are signs, and is this one of them? Well, again, unclear. This, by the way, fits the behavior of other leaders throughout history who saw themselves in a kind of rivalry with the gods of their people and sought to put themselves over those gods, exalt themselves above God. That's actually pretty common. That is really the definition of megalomania. And it's happened before and will doubtless happen again. But that's clearly what this is. This is mockery of God by a temporal leader, by a man. This is the leader of our country saying, I will take no instruction from God because, as he showed in the first meme, I am God. Okay. So that kind of raises the question, is that okay? Seems to be okay. There were no massive protests in front of the White House. There was no attempt really to do anything about this. In fact,
depends on the night, Amber. Some nights I just want people to skip past it. I ain't got time to deal with it. Other nights, when the bots come in here trolling and shit, it's entertainment. I'm going to cuss them out, trolling back. Hell, I got the microphone. Shit's fun to me.
In fact, many Republican leaders shrugged it off. Self-professed Christians shrugged off. No big deal. He's just true socialing. Don't pay attention. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. What, do you have no sense of humor? Mocking Jesus? Giving the finger to God? You're so uptight. And as for his attacks on the Pope, Republican leader after Republican leader, including just hours ago, the Speaker of the House, the self-described Christian, fervent Christian, Bible scholar, joined in attacking the Pope. So you gotta have to wonder, is this the behavior of a Christian nation? Is the United States a Christian nation? Well, that depends how you look at it. The United States is the nation with the most Christians, over 200 million. There are more Christians in the United States than in any other country on planet Earth. So it is by that definition a Christian nation. Of course, it's not officially Christian. Our Constitution forbids the U.S. government from creating a state religion in the First Amendment in the Bill of Rights. So no, it's not officially Christian, but it is fundamentally, materially Christian because it's majority.
Hey, they rated Dan Blizzard in here. I think he was #1 on the anti-Semitism list. He does say some wild shit. I think Tucker was like #10. Candace was like #4.
Christian still. And once again, it's the country with the most Christians, but it's not a Christian country. And in fact, if you take 3 steps back, it's a nation, or it's a government anyway, that has for a long time really acted in opposition, explicit opposition to the interests of Christians, not just in the United States, but around the world. Our foreign policy, for example, seems to target Christians.
That's the thing, though. You said Trump said he was going to dedicate the USA back to one nation under God. What God is Trump talking about? That's my first question. See, everybody's talking about one nation under God, but they don't realize, man, just like the Russian, everybody's saying the Russian Orthodox Church came out and said the Muslims and the Christians don't share the same God. So what are we talking about, man? What God? I need to know what God, man. Get to praying and shit, man. Who are you praying to? I don't just, chat, I get real specific when it comes to that type shit, man.
Christians. And this has happened consistently enough that it's probably not an accidental byproduct of the policy. It may be the point of the policy. Who knows what the intent is? But certainly effect of every foreign policy adventure, at least since Vietnam, which in the end, and this is often forgotten, left the Catholics, and there were many of them in Vietnam, in concentration camps. Didn't help the Catholics at all. Vietnam went from a Catholic country to a communist country. And that's not entirely our fault, but that was the effect. That happened. The Iraq War. There were millions of Christians in Iraq when it started. There aren't now. A lot of them are dead. Our policies in Syria, today in Lebanon, the only country in the Middle East with a Christian president, a Christian head of the military, being bombed with our bombs, dropped from our airplanes. Our munitions are being used to kill Christians. Our government is effectively sanctioning the ethnic cleansing of southern Lebanon, including Christian villages, ancient Christian villages. So our foreign policy abets the murder of Christians, and not just our foreign policy, all of our policies. Europe, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, our country as well, have all changed substantially demographically and become much less Christian because of immigration. So you often hear people complain, oh, Europe's becoming Muslim. Yeah. Why is that? Well, because of mass migration. We've abetted it. The neocons certainly have abetted it.
Good
They've
night,
been in favor
Possum.
of it. They've...
Yeah, that's enough of that too, chat. We're gonna read chat for a minute, man. Y'all got any questions, any comments, anything to say? Now is the time to get them out. I'm answering all questions, chat. Anything that's not dumb as hell. Anything that's not dumb as hell. I answer the questions right now, chat. Let's get a convo going. Y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all hit the like button too. You said the Jays bombed the Iranian synagogue. You said true religion, only God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, Messiah, 3 in 1, plural, the Trinity. I had a debate earlier about someone asking, about the Trinity, and I was just trying to explain to them, like, hey, look, in my opinion, I believe you're confusing divinity. You know, when we're speaking about God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit being one, they share that divine nature. Like, I don't think people could get when I break that down. You said what's the latest between Iran and the U.S.? They're reporting that Russia's offered to take the uranium as part of the peace deal. We don't know where that's gonna go. We still have the blockade outside of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has proposed to open up the Strait of Hormuz to on the Omar side and let them let the ships pass through there without being struck. They're talking about they're pushing General Motors and Ford to turn some of their facilities into places to make weapons, we still have 10,000 troops on the way to the Middle East. Well, it will be 10,000 when they all arrive. Congress voted it. They voted it down today to where they would need congressional approval to do any more strikes. They voted that down, so they will not need congressional approval for any more strikes. It's crazy. Energy crisis is on. You said, how in control do I think we are now? With the blockade, we're in a better position. But we're still headed towards escalation. As of right now, we got control of the situation when it's come to what's gonna enter and exit that port. They're letting humanitarian stuff go through. They're really not letting anything come out with up on interdiction. They'll interdict it, board, see what's going on. But yeah, we're in a better position now that we got the blockade. But it is gonna escalate. You said, why is his religion so important to me? Because this is what they're forcing. If this is what they're hanging their hat on. They're hanging their hat on religion. This whole administration, everything that we've heard from this war to the Christian nation to Turning Point USA to even Trump going during his rally saying, Christians, I just need you to vote for me one time and it'll all be fixed. That's why. We didn't ask him to do all of that. We didn't ask him to say that he's gonna go help the Nigerian Christians. We didn't ask them to come out and say all of this. And then when we look and see the inconsistencies and we talk about the inconsistencies, now it's a problem. Man, spiritual advisor akin him to God, akin him to Jesus. The man's spiritual advisor akin him to Jesus. You said you giving advice while you have an exit sign is comedy? Wow. Why? Some of y'all just be coming here talking. Yeah, we'll probably be over there for a while. You said, I believe he's definitely being used by God the same way King Cyrus was being used by God. I believe we're dealing with fucking accelerationists, man. I believe they're trying to force fulfill prophecy. I believe it's completely fabricated, completely manipulated, and completely forced. This timeline is accelerated. Now we know the reason the timeline is accelerated. One of the reasons, because of where AI is getting, the singularity. There's about to be something that they believe is going to challenge God as we know it, going to challenge the way we see God. Because people don't realize that when they talk about the end times and they talk about this, and it's some shit that has to go on before all of that. And even after that, it's still time. Whether you believe in how the Jews believe it, or whether you believe in it how the Christians believe it, it's still some shit that gotta go on. It's still some periods of time that have to go on. And they're trying to force fulfill that. It's already people worshiping the AI. Google DeepMind just hired a philosopher. They got a company right now that has an AI Jesus you can pay $1.99 to talk to and ask questions. They're trying to force fulfill prophecy while they can control the narrative. You don't think that they look at when this war started? The war started, what was it, 2 days, or maybe a day or 2 days before the blood moon? You go to Acts 2:7. Where they're speaking about what Joel had prophesied. Sun covered, moon turned to blood, sons and daughters shall prophecy. You don't hear them talking about the red heifer anymore. That shit's done. They're not mentioning the red heifer. Netanyahu said what the other day? The Messiah won't be back Thursday. How the hell is Netanyahu getting up here at a press conference saying Thursday's not the day the Messiah is coming back if they hadn't already sacrificed the red heifer? You said, come on, bro, please play an Asmongold video. Hell no, Asmongold. Shout me out, Asmongold. Let's collect Asmongold. Get me out the trenches. Send this clip to Asmongold, man. You said play Ammo 2960. Send this clip to Asmongold, man. Asmongold, I'm in the fucking trenches right now, man. Let's collab. Get Plug out of the fucking trenches, man. What you talking about, man? Yeah, clip this up and send it to him, man. Tell Asmongold to come get me out the trenches, man. Let's collab, man. But yeah, that's what I believe, Chad. I believe these are all accelerationists, man. Accelerationists. The timeline's accelerated. Shit is crazy, Chad. And accelerationists are on both sides, left and right. Because in order to completely rebuild the system anew, you have to burn it to the ground. That's why I keep telling y'all this is the greatest rug pull in world history we were living through. It's a controlled demolition. They're gonna suck the fucking juice out of the back of the economy. At the same time, they're pushing these narratives. New borders are being made, new alliances are being created. AI's becoming self-aware. AI is becoming I hate to even use the word, bro. Like, we're probably less than 4 or 5 years away from AI just being omnipresent, bro. Every device, every smart TV, smart refrigerator, you see they just banned all foreign routers. No routers from anywhere outside of the United States, man. It's just gonna be, they got flock cameras and ring cameras already linking up. You put the flock cameras, the ring cameras, all devices, all smart appliances on top of the satellite imagery. Then they just trying to pass this digital act to where when you first buy the phone, whether it's Google or Apple, you have to scan your face or give up your ID. It's over with. You saying so you believe that man can outsmart God? No, but you have to understand that these things, see, we get so egotistical and we think the world revolves around us that we don't think that we can miss it. It's not about God's gonna win in the end. But what if we not here to fucking see it? There have been atrocities and periods of time where shit was all fucking bad for a long time. And those people never got to see it get better. They died. Some peoples were eradicated before it ever got better. What's to say that we're gonna be here to see it get better? That's why I say, where do your morals lie? Where do you draw the line? Are you willing to fight for a cause that you might not see coming to fruition? It might just be all fucking bad. I'm a black Christian from the Bible Belt. Trust me, I hear these stories all day. I get these arguments all day. How many slaves prayed to Jesus and cried and never saw it get better? But I'm here now and it got better for me. They never saw that. They never saw it get better. Ever. They died. You know, you asked me, do I think this man can outsmart God? I'm saying no. But I'm saying just because I say no doesn't mean that we're gonna live to see shit get better, or we're gonna live to see shit get worse. That's what you call time periods. We were born in a certain time period that some shit's going on. Some people are born in time periods where it's totally brutal. Some people are born in wonderful time periods. Right now, we're in a time period that's encroaching on some shit that we don't know what's next. We don't know what's next. We don't know what 15 years from now looks like. We don't know what 5 years from now looks like. That's the thing, Amber. I'm not saying any man outsmarts God, but your timeline and God's timeline and my timeline is completely different. 1,000 years is a blink of an eye to God. We won't be here 1,000 years from now. Some of these dynasties and countries are saying are 4,000 or 5,000 years old. That's a drop in the bucket to God. This shit not on our time. That's why I say that they're trying to force fulfill prophecy. Their acceleration is completely fabricated and manipulated. It's the Truman Show. Honestly, it's the Truman Show. You said just you being born in America gives you the right to freedom? No, it gives me the right to freedoms. See, freedom is subjective. It gives me the right to freedoms. There's still laws and codes that I gotta abide by. There's still certain things that are not morally wrong, that I have to abide by. So we have freedoms, not true freedom. You said Jesus is a story. I'm gonna be a story one day. A lot of real people are stories. There's a lot of living people right now that are stories. I mean, Jesus is a story. Shit, everybody in this chat got a story right now. If you don't got a story, are you a bot? Are you an NPC? If I sat down and asked all 400 of y'all, tell me your story, you would have something to say. You wouldn't be quiet. Good night, Top Cat. I'm finna get out of here too, chat. I'm finna get out of here too, man. Y'all double tap the screen on your way out. We'll be back tomorrow night, man. Be sure to join the Discord and subscribe to the channel. Good night, chat.